Welcome to Commentary Time. Here at Permanently Geek, we record a commentary every couple of weeks, and we basically just talk over a movie and make fun of it, talk about things we learn as we watch it, and, have a good time. So thank you for listening. We have the movie queued up to the Warner Brothers logo, just so you know, and when I say press play, you will press play on your remote at home, and it will be like we are watching the film together, because we are.
We're Randy. Actually sitting right behind you if you haven't noticed.
I'm Randy, your host. Sitting next to me,
Michael McFarland, on a heavy breathing.
I'm Alex.
So we are going to be, today we have selected a wonderful film from a filmmaker who is near and dear to, I'm pretty sure, everyone's heart. That's Joel Schumacher. And the film that we will be watching is Batman vs. Robin. And I said versus again. Which is what...
Batman vs. Robin.
Which is what we did before we started recording. Before we started recording, I kept saying Batman vs. Robin because we watched the Batman vs. Superman trailer in anticipation of watching Batman and Robin. So... Batman and Robin will be the film we're going to watch. We're watching it on Blu-ray, so if you have it on Blu-ray, put that in. If you don't,
you can just
get
listen
with the
to
times.
us without watching the movie.
You could you could be driving right now and listening to this
we'll
and not even know.
A verbal picture.
Yeah, the logo has.
This will be like the visually impaired tracks where we'll just describe everything that happens the entire time.
Oh my goodness. We should do that.
A shield-shaped logo graces the screen with
shimmering clouds in the background.
Fluffy white clouds in the background.
An ominous theme denotes that Batman is soon to be on the screen. But all right, we're gonna start pressing. We're gonna start pressing.
We'll let you know when we stop.
Like, it's gonna be crazy up in here. I'm gonna mute the audio so we don't get a copyright thing. And here we go. In 3, 2, 1, playing. Now the movie is playing. For those at home who are wondering whether the movie is playing, if you're in a mystery, the
logo fades to a dark blue and morphs into a Batman logo.
It's the Tim Burton logo, which really kind of just brings you back to these films being good.
Wait, is this film gonna be good?
No.
Oh, okay, all right.
No, you can already tell. It's already stupid.
You got my hopes up for a second.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was paid at like a ridiculous amount of money to be in this movie.
We'll get paid.
He makes something like $1 million a sentence or something ridiculous like that. Not kidding. He says he has 50 lines in the entire movie.
He actually says complete sentences in this movie?
Well, he says he speaks in catchphrase in this film. Alicia Silverstone, who you'll remember from this film and Clueless and then Nothing.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is actually trilingual. He speaks English, he speaks German, and he speaks catchphrase.
He does. He speaks very fluent catchphrase.
But not very fluent English or German.
Well, catchphrase is his first language.
I actually, it's funny. I actually met him a few years ago. I had lunch with him.
First view of the bat nipples.
Here we go. The bat butt, bat penis, bat butt again.
Bat bum.
And it was weird because his handler, the guy who, works with him, speaks German, and I had actually never heard Arnold Schwarzenegger speak German. And I was like, wait, he speaks German? Oh, yeah, that's right.
In a lovely baritone. Just perfectly articulate.
It was actually fairly articulate. Here we are. This is Batman and Robin.
Going back to that, you gotta wonder how it feels like for someone who's wonderfully fluent and probably sounds perfectly ordinary in their own language to be mocked their entire lives for their accent
for
speaking a language that's not even what they grew up speaking. You gotta feel a little bad for them for that.
I mean, it kind of sucks. It's sort of like, but I talk normal when it's my German. But God, that Batmobile, I really like this Batmobile because of how stupid it is. Because it's like a 90s neon dream just come to life. And that's one of the things I appreciate this movie for being kind of campy. I actually think it's a little bit better than Batman Forever in terms of how it's held up over the years.
You know, it's been about as long since I've watched Batman Forever as I watched this one. So, which that's been about a decade. So we'll see how it holds up.
Couldn't buy a 2-seated car.
That seems kind of a douchey thing to do.
Nope.
I
Like,
put
seriously?
my logo on the friggin' driveway, but here's a tricycle.
I gave you neon on the side so that you know it's for you. Don't wait up.
Never cancel the pizza.
Was he...
Never cancel the pizza.
You can
It's
just
still
heat
good
pizza.
cold.
You just put it in the oven,
Yeah.
and it's good to go.
That was pretty much
What?
all I ate
What?
yesterday.
He's
Wait,
pooping.
Pizza.
He's pooping. Alfred is pooping.
Someone needs to go back and put some like fart noises in with that facial expression.
Like, oh my goodness. I really like the sort of 60s, like they have like the commissioner telling him what's going on, and it's like really poorly added, like poorly green screened in, so it looks like the show. I mean, look at the front of that. It's like a circus come to life. It's just amazing.
He won't even, like, not drive in the center of the driveway. Like, he could not care less about Robin at this point.
It's like, Robin, you got to drive right next to these vaulted, arches that you're gonna hit your head on one of these.
You have to be behind me. I do not want you at the side of me or in front of me, behind me. As you can see, this is Arnold being paid millions of dollars to walk down those steps.
That's about $100,000 a step right there.
Yeah, this is like LeBron level payment for this movie. His makeup is cool.
You have to respect a guy who can go from this to governor of a state.
Not that long after.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
Like, there's literally nothing you can do to not be elected governor of California.
yeah. I mean, it's kind
This
of
is like, okay.
Did
kind of
anyone
incredible.
run like negative ad campaigns about how Arnold Schwarzenegger was going to freeze California? Because seriously, there's some solid footage you can use for that.
I feel like maybe they did.
And people are like, it's too hot here anyway.
What I hate about the scene, which I mean, there's a lot to hate about the scene, but what I really hate about it is every once in a while you will notice they'll bump into the icicles, and the icicles will like shimmy back and forth because they're just clearly like some guy like took like Saran wrap and like formed an icicle and then just hastily taped it to the thing. I love how this entire action sequence is totally set up for this.
Now, I assume that's a dinosaur, but it really looked like Batman just landed on a giant penis.
Yeah, it does. It has a very, animal penis, like elephant penis texture.
I'm not that familiar with elephant penises, but I'll
Folks
take
at
your
home,
word
if
for
you
it,
want to
Randy.
Google elephant penis and send us images, you are more than welcome to. Michael will be taking a look at those.
Hashtag elephant penis.
Hashtag elephant penis. Seriously, I like how he broke through and formed a perfect logo. And it's a logo for him. It's not like Batman's logo. Like he must have planned that. He also caused probably about $1,000 worth of damage in just so he could look cool coming through. Like,
So here's the great thing about this museum is that they don't have like dinosaur bones. They just have like
Oh, rollerblades. This is fantastic. This is the best movie I've ever seen.
Just when you think the movie can't throw any more at you, rollerblading ninjas in an ice museum.
Oh my
So-
God.
with this floor that is like reflective and has like that kind of rainbowy reflection
So
sort of around
one
it.
of the things you people out on internet land should know is the breakdown here. Like Randy has seen pretty much every movie ever made.
Yeah.
I am a film goer. I'll see a lot of things in theaters, and when I'm at Randy's, I'll watch things.
Let's
Alex
put this
has
in
seen almost nothing ever.
let's put this in Scientology terms, because I know that's most of you out there that level. I think it's level 1 is where Tom Cruise is at. Like I'm at like Tom Cruise level. You're at like the girl from Orange is the New Black.
All right, yeah, that sounds about right.
That 70s show, that girl, she's Scientology. You're about there right now,
and we've
then
just now hooked
I'm,
Alex up
I'm
to
the guy
e-meter.
taking the quiz on the website right now.
you're the guy who's like, is this a cult? I don't
Oh,
know.
man.
Yeah, so that's where we are, and
So
this.
you can assume that Alex has seen none of these movies before.
Have you
so-
seen this film?
I have not.
Good. That's terrific. It's always good to watch a movie without sound. But yeah, oh my god, this. What? The physics behind that made no sense. Oh, The icicle flipped in the background.
This actually happens in the same universe as Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Apparently. This was the beginning. There was the director of Crouching Tiger.
Was Robin wearing ice skates the whole time, or just
they popped out of his shoes? I believe.
So he has those ready to go. In case.
Ready to go.
Just in case.
There's some superhero footwear designer that's like vindicated. They laughed at me.
Finally. I bet you could probably. He's freezing that even more.
Frozen penis. But okay. How many museums as their centerpiece just have the like sculpture of what a dinosaur looked like? Like that's not even a worthwhile museum piece. That's like what you have in an amusement park.
Also, it cracks like it's completely hollow, meaning it could just crack at like any moment and do exactly what is happening. Like an earthquake could knock this thing down. It's just a
plastic dinosaur shell that somehow is like the centerpiece.
Yeah.
Gotham City sucks.
Gotham City. This
Being
museum.
A kid going to a museum in Gotham City, it's like we have all kinds of random things, like ancient Mesoamerican articles and plastic dinosaurs, all in the same room.
And a diamond. There's more jingling icicles. Whoa, that made no sense. I like how he. God, it's like watching the like the stunt show at Six Flags. But why is there a giant diamond right next to a dinosaur?
That's what I'm saying. This is like the grab bag room. They're like, okay, so we didn't have money for a museum of natural history or like Mesoamerican artwork or, a place to show off massive diamonds. Let's just stick them all in the same room, why don't we?
Yeah, it's a suppository coming out of that. That's good. I have a feeling whoever designed this was like, look, guys, Batman's probably going to have an action sequence in here, so we shouldn't put anything too important. Other than that diamond.
I'm pretty sure
that's
this
probably
room
why that'd be the catalyst for the action scene.
I'm pretty sure this room was also designed by the same guy who designed the throne room from Return of the Jedi, because
I should look that up.
It looks like the exact same architect that created all these circular portal windows.
I want to see who the production designer on Batman and Robin and what they have done since. So,
to the internet.
To the internet we go. Batman and Robin, 1997. It carries a 3.6 out of 10 on IMDb with a Metacritic score of 28. Wow. People don't like this movie. That's weird. This movie it's something. It's an acquired taste.
Well, it's a movie. You can say that much about it.
The production designer of this film worked pretty steadily until this film. Wow.
And when you reach this pinnacle of awesomeness, you just retire. Like, I know I'm never going to do better than this. This is my crowning achievement. Time to pack it in.
My magnum opus.
They've done 4 films since Hearts in Atlantis, Random Hearts, so 2 movies with hearts in it. No Reservations, and The Lucky One, which was like a couple years ago.
Wait, No Reservations, like the food travel show?
No, this is a movie about who's in this? Catherine Zeta-Jones, and I think like her sister maybe passes away, and Aaron Eckhart, another Batman alum, becomes her boyfriend because all romantic comedies require a plucky male lead.
Of course.
So unfortunately, Barbara Ling, who is the person, so just think, oh my God, those wings.
Oh.
I'm sorry to cut off from
Everything has to have neon dots on it.
God, everything in this movie is so 90s. I love it. But yeah, Barbara Ling seemed to be doing a lot and then kind of stopped doing production design. So that's kind of a surprise. Set decorator, Dory Cooper was the set decorator, whose career also seemed to kind of melt away once this film. See what I did there with the ice?
That was nicely timed.
Wow.
Nicely timed.
Yeah.
That's proof we're still watching this.
Yeah, we are.
we were ignoring it for a minute and just paying attention to phones.
There are still shimmery rainbows like throughout this, if you noticed, like on the walls and stuff. I wonder they must have used some kind of like reflective paper to kind of get that look. Oh, they're gonna surf. And
there it is.
This CG.
Surfboard number 1, surfboard number 2. Do you remember the show Tailspin? This is exactly like Tailspin. Like with Kit with his little like fan surfboard thing that he would fly around on. Baloo's about to come in. Oh, hey, oh.
Like I feel like this was written by like a team of 12-year-old boys like
Oh, the
hyped
12
up
will
on
get in.
Fanta, just thinking, dude, and then they have surfboards.
With another tail to spin.
It's a film that feels like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles wrote it. Because this is what they'd make. They'd be
Have
surfing.
we checked the writing credits?
Yeah, see, maybe I'm gonna check the writing credits right now. I cannot
Cowabunga,
guarantee.
Wow.
He just said Cowabunga.
Wow. Did you like watch this yesterday just to prep these lines?
No, I did not know we would be picking. Let's see here. There were two writers, Bob Kane characters. Bob Kane had nothing to do with this movie. I don't even think Bob Kane was alive. No, he died the year after this movie came out. You can read into that however you want.
It was the final blow.
Akiva Goldsman wrote this, which is
Really?
Akiva Goldsman has written quite a few things, including but not limited to I Am Legend, Angels and Demons, a couple episodes of Fringe, about 19 episodes of Fringe, Da Vinci Code, A Beautiful Mind, Lost in Space. Followed this up with Lost in Space.
That doesn't surprise me, actually.
We should do a commentary for that at some point, too.
Absolutely. I haven't seen that in about 10 years, too.
Yeah, that's a fun
I recall
one.
the quality being about equivalent to this. So that's a good bet.
It's about the same. Got him. Oh, and he's frozen in the air. He freezes before there's like a base for him to sit on, which is what I like, because like density of ice in this movie is not like a thing.
This movie runs on Warner Brothers physics.
This is actually one of my favorite moments, is when he lifts him up and puts him in the hot water, because it looks so stupid. Because it's just obviously like a hollow plastic thing he picks up. Ooh,
this is the exact same plot as in one of the new movies. Are you gonna save him, or are you gonna stop the villain?
This is where, just so you all know, I mean, I didn't look this up, but I'm sure it's true. This is where Christopher Nolan got that idea in The Dark Knight of, do you save the people or do you catch the bad guy? It came from this.
And so in this context, that
here we
means
go.
that Robin is the love
Look at
interest
that.
here. That he
Lowest
chooses
moment
to
for
save.
me. Oh, it's amazing. He looks like he's throwing an action figure.
God, I would love to have that like, prop of just the Robin trapped.
I'm
in
looking it up on
icicles.
eBay. I'm gonna see if there's any props on
who's
eBay.
selling one of those?
Does anybody have any props? Oh, I love the internet, because you can look stuff up like that immediately. Why is it? Look at that! Look at that! That's in a wax museum somewhere.
Nah, someone bought it and just like converted it into a Robin sex doll.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the open mouth, just begging for that.
Oh my God.
Drilled a small hole.
Or a big one, depending on how you feel.
Here we go. Now we're in what appears to be Skeletor's lair. Yeah, well, we're still
Still could be.
Batman and Robin props. Let's see if there are any props currently for sale on eBay. There is a open eye resin life cast of George Clooney for $49.95.
Ooh.
Wait, is that $49.95?
That is $49.95.
Hey, I know what's decorating my den from here on out.
Open eye? Like, that's one of the
Here, take a look at this.
tech specs? Oh.
It's terrifying. It's
Is
terrifying.
that just like 3D printed? Like somebody
It's
like
probably
surreptitiously
for-
scanned his head and is
I'm
now
gonna guess
selling
it's for
3D
like
printed?
makeup. I'm gonna maybe take a little snapshot of that and like in the on like YouTube when we put up the thing. I'll you guys will get to see this because it's terrifying. Because it probably won't be for sale because someone will buy it. Because that's just gonna happen.
Whoever's selling that, you're welcome, because we just drove up the price.
Somebody is selling the Batman credit card prop for $15, which I can't imagine is like legit. It's got to be.
Do they actually use like bat cards in
There
this?
is a Batman credit card later in this film.
So in this movie, are we looking at like the old school where they're duly deputized agents of the law working with the police, so that then they could have actual bank accounts at financial institutions?
It is a Gotham card. It's a bit redonk. So here is for those of you who've only seen the Christopher Nolan Batman films, and for those people who have, come on, watch the other ones. They're fun. But anyway,
We're not gonna
this
say
is
they're good.
they're not going to say they're good.
But
I
they're
mean,
fun.
the Burton films have their merit. These films have their merit too in their camp value. But here you go. This is the origin of Bane, your beloved character from The Dark Knight Rises,
And Mexican wrestling.
and Mexican wrestling. I wish he had Bane's accent from the Christopher Nolan films. Like, you know, just he was like, "Oh, don't put me in this. I will kill you." But yeah, we'll see. It says Venom. I like how, like, did it come like that? Did the beaker come with, like, Venom and, like, the skull and crossbones?
Here's a nice little overlap. Isn't that the same actor who played Lex Luthor's dad?
That is Lex Luthor's dad.
Okay.
Yep.
In the Smallville series.
John Glover, I believe is his name. I'm still looking up other. There's boots. You can buy, like, Batman boots on here.
The Bat Boot.
I'm
with the ice skate built in.
Does it have ice skates that pop? No, that's only Robin's. Oh. They're the Bat Boots, not the Bird Boots.
I'm gonna have to set up like a Google Alerts if ever that prop shows up. The ice prop I want.
The Robin frozen in ice prop.
Robin encased in ice. Look at this. Like, this is an awesome set. It's colorful. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense, but it's so fun to look at.
And like late 90s, early 2000s video games, like the Unreal Engine, the first thing they did was try to make everything look like these movies.
Yeah.
With fog and neon and all of this. So
it feels very European, because European films tend to, particularly Italian films, tend to be a lot more colorful.
Like City of Lost Children, like some of the color and all of that. It reminds me a little bit of that.
Dario Argento, horror filmmaker, Suspiria, and for some reason I'm just Suspiria. He's made other films, but they're usually like just loaded with color. Star Crash, which is another one we should do. Luigi Cosi, I think, is the guy who did that one, and that film is just so colorful. It's like this. It's just sort of like everywhere you look, there is a ridiculous amount. It feels like you're walking through like a haunted house or something.
Now, where do I go to buy some prosthetic Bane biceps like we just saw there? Because I could use some of those.
Ooh. Alibaba.
Along with a half dozen clappers for $6.99.
There you go.
Like, every time I see a mad scientist in a movie, I always wonder, like, what was this guy like as a grad student? Like, can you imagine him as, like, a TA? Like, grading your papers with crazy person hair? Like,
no, he actually,
giving you, like, partial credit.
He is still an associate professor at Kent State University in Kent, Ohio. He's up there. He's just sitting there going,
my original sponsors.
I want 100 pages from all of you by tomorrow. And they're all like, oh my God, he's so crazy.
I minored in anthropology.
So he is murdering her at the same time he is showing his stuff. Or did that scene pass and this is another scene? It doesn't matter. More explosions. This is her origin.
Well, he just created Bane, and now he's killing her.
And creating another, like, he literally creates two
supervillains in 30 seconds. That's gotta be a record. And
why she has snakes on her? Snakes are not plants. Did they not know that? Did someone not get the memo that snakes are not?
Well, earlier she was talking about trying to crossbreed plants and animals.
Forgot.
Which
she's falling under the table
I feel like just drilling a hole in a tree and putting a dude nearby would be the best way to try that experiment. But, snakes and plants in the same place. They haven't coexisted for millions of years without having sex. So let's see if it works now.
This was probably the funniest part to shoot, was this stuff. Just because it's so not this movie. It's like the opposite, just to see him, Victor Fries is like a normal person. Victor Fries is such an odd villain. It'd be interesting to see a good version of this character at some point.
And this is why railings are now mandated over any cryogenic tanks.
They're going to have a cryogenic tank. Put a railing
seriously,
up.
You build a massive cryogenic tank and you have a walkway above it. Like, nah, no one's ever gonna fall backwards. Nobody.
I like how it says Bat Computer up in the corner, just so you can just for those.
That's
at home.
Like an old original Mac icon too.
Yeah. I like how the Batman logo is just everywhere, because Batman apparently forgets that he's Batman. He's like, oh yeah, I'm Batman. That's right. Now I'm gonna point it out, just because this is the first really George Clooney scene we've seen without the costume. What we spooping again? It's good to.
He's got a colostomy bag.
It's good to pay attention to George Clooney's head bobble, which is at an all-time high in this film. He basically acts by saying his dialogue, and bobbling his head. He'll just be like,
does he do
hello
that all the
there."
time?
He will do this throughout the film. He's doing it right now.
In other films, like is that
this one and From Dusk Till Dawn are the two that are probably the most notorious for it.
It's never something I've noticed before.
You will now not be able to not notice it.
Thanks for ruining my George Clooney watching Tuesday evenings, Randy. I'm never gonna have
George
my
Clooney
Clooney
Tuesdays.
Clooney Tuesdays will never be the same.
Clooney Tuesdays coming to permanentlygeek.com.
Clooney Tuesdays with Michael McFarlane.
We just talk about George Clooney. That's it.
He's so dreamy.
He's so dreamy. Master Dick.
Master Dick. There's a nickname. MasterDick.com. I'm not Googling it.
See, he's just bobbling his head. He's having this nice dialogue with this guy, this nice sweet man who's helped raise him. And he's just sitting there bobbing his head along like, hey, what's going on?
See, this is actually there's a layer to the character that George Clooney's trying to put in here, which is that the aging Batman is starting to show signs of Parkinson's.
Ooh.
So therefore he has to
look at
impart
his neck.
knowledge. Yeah, he has to impart his knowledge to young Robin before Parkinson's takes over to the point that he can no longer fight crime.
Like, what was this like?
Oh, but in trying to save Batman, Robin falls into a pit of like cryogenic acid and turns into another supervillain. Twist.
What a twist.
It's like does every scene open with like, interior room, Batman, Bruce Wayne walks in with his head craned forward.
That's actually in the script.
Is that in the script?
That was how it was written.
What I do like about this, this is something I've talked about with a few other of my journalist friends, particularly Scott Mendelson of Forbes.com. We sort of always talked about, one of the things that we like about this is the only, like, outside of maybe the 60s show, is the only time that Batman or Bruce Wayne seems kind of happy. He's sort of gotten through, he's overcome like all these issues about his parents and stuff, and like he's like smiling throughout most of this film. He seems to really be having like kind of a good time. And that's the dilemma of this, is more about his family sort of being in trouble. Alfred is sick, and he has issues with Robin. With pooping. He does have a pooping issue. It's causing his head to bobble. Uma Thurman is pretty hot in this movie, if I remember correctly.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
She is the only one, I think, who is genuinely aware that this was not going to be a good movie and delivers
and having
appropriately.
Fun with it. So
too. He does kind of seem like he knows. Like, look at him. He knows.
So wait, her blood was replaced with aloe. Does that mean that
no more oven mitts?
Boom.
Doesn't that seem so she's poison ivy? Doesn't that mean that she's constantly like fighting herself? Because that's what you put. No, you put calamine lotion on poison ivy. Yeah. So she's just good with sunburns.
So they could probably just pour calamine lotion on her, and it would maybe kill her.
Spoilers? God, Randy.
That's not how they do it. There is a scene.
Alex doesn't know that.
That's right. Yeah. So how is this movie thus far? I mean, you haven't seen it.
The soundtrack is terrible.
She gets her famous, "I am Mother Nature." Oh boy. One for her homies.
So I feel like it would be really easy to trace back purchases for coming up with like villainous layers here. You just figure out who bought all the colored light bulbs at Home Depot and fog machines, and you can pretty much figure out where the layer is gonna be.
Like, there's some sales guy at Pyrex who's like, this like mountain has been ordering a lot of Erlenmeyer flasks with venom in giant letters printed on it. Should I like report this, or?
Yeah, what's the custom printing shop that prints venom on everything?
Look at this. I mean, look at his outfit. Why isn't this on eBay?
Why isn't this a GIF that's going around the internet all the time?
Every time someone, okay, internet, challenge. Yeah. Every time someone puts out a performance on America's Got Talent or something, put this in there. meme it up. Come on.
Yeah,
Arnold
reaction
Schwarzenegger.
gif of Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze.
I love he's even got like this special like cigar. Like he was like, "You're going to pay me a ridiculous amount of money, and I want a special cigar for the film so I can smoke during it." And that was it. Oh, this is his blue light test chamber there. If you notice, there's just a blue light in the chamber. I don't know why.
Well, you got to make sure your blue lights are working from time to time.
How is she not just freezing? Also, he's trying to save his wife that he loves, but like he's also got like a mistress here that like he's hanging out with, and like, wait, I mean, I know that like the pun of diamonds, being ice, but it's not actually ice, so why does it power it? Like, why does it make him,
Like, if he does save his wife and she wakes up, she's gonna be like, "What the hell?"
I want to see that movie. Where it's just her, like,
Mr.
Holy
Freeze
shit.
divorcing his wife.
I want to see the sitcom that comes after him succeeding, where she's always complaining about how it's too
like,
cold and like.
oh my god, what is wrong with you, man? Like, this guy's freezing. Why isn't the girl freezing? That makeup is cool. I think a lot of people, when The Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out, a lot of people made a lot of comparisons to this movie or the Schumacher Batman films, and I really think it actually is this makeup because it's very similar. It's very similar to like Electro's makeup in Amazing Spider-Man 2. It has that sort of shimmer. There he is, looking at his wife.
I like how he puts her in a sexy outfit to hang out in this like suspension tank.
Yeah. Is Luke Skywalker there in the background? Just like he's in his tank.
It's actually a back to tank.
Cobra from G.I. Joe Retaliation.
Like
also in the
I would
background.
think that if you're gonna suspend your wife in a back to tank, you'd probably take her jewelry off, because who knows what Bacta does to silver snowflakes.
Also, why isn't it floating? Wouldn't it float up?
I don't know the density of,
That's true.
of Bacta versus silver.
Google it.
Internet. Siri.
Yeah, I was supposed to say Siri. Siri would be a good one to ask. We should ask Siri. Where the hell did my phone go?
Siri, which is more dense, Bacta or silver?
I'm sorry, I don't know what the hell you're talking.
Check that. Okay, I found this on the web for which is more dense, backed out, or silver.
No useful answers.
Siri, have you seen Batman and Robin?
I haven't.
Would you like to?
This is about you, Randy, not me.
Man, Siri is mean. Alicia Silverstone is in this film. That's about all I can say without being mean. It's not that I really don't like. It's not that I don't. Well, I know that I don't like Alicia Silverstone. I mean, she's great, in particular in Clueless. And really, I could see why they thought it worked, but it doesn't. It felt very, like, even at the time I was like, yeah, this is good. I like how she picked up a fake leaf. Like, there's a bunch of real leaves sitting down there, and then she picked up one of the plastic ones and is just carrying it. But I could see why they thought it would work, but it was one of those immediately as soon as they announced it, I was like, oh yeah, that's going to be dated in like 1 year. And it was practically dated by the time the film came out. Because there was a little bit of hoopla about her being in this movie.
I was trying to pay attention to what you were saying, but I was just staring at the bobbling head of George Clooney the whole time. He was like,
"Look at that! It's like he's wearing."
I can't focus on anything except his bobbling head. Can you get George Clooney bobbleheads?
I hope so.
Is that available on eBay?
Internet. I mean, look at that. It just bobbles nonstop. It's like he's wearing the turtleneck to hold his neck in place. I'm actually... he can't stop bobbling his head. Oh, I love it. I believe Alfred is played by... what is his name? I believe it's like Michael Gough. I'm terrible with names in movies. Like, I never know people's names. Right. Yeah, Michael Gough, who I believe passed away in 2011. He was 94. Played Batman in the Tim Burton films and in the Joel Schumacher films. He's kind of like M from the Pierce Brosnan era, played by Judi Dench, carried on into the Daniel Craig era, also Judi Dench. I like how there's this photo, and he looks so like, "Wow, what are you doing? Looking at me? Why are you taking this weird photo?" She looks like a baby doll in this scene. It's really odd.
Who, the old dude?
Yeah. The name Love Peg, I believe there's a continuity error later on that will show that picture, and that signature will not be there again. But that's later in the movie, not right now. My nickname for Sweet Margaret.
I'm actually not finding a George Clooney bobblehead online. All I'm finding is a goat bobblehead from Men Who Stare at Goats, which is a George Clooney film.
Yeah.
But
there probably are bobbleheads of George Clooney out there. If you internet, if you have a bobblehead of George Clooney, or if you wanna go nuts and make a bobblehead of George Clooney, you go right ahead, and you can contact us. You can email us and permanentlygeek@gmail.com, and you could send that to us or send us a picture. We would love to see a George Clooney bobblehead. Here she is. She's not only a schoolgirl but also a badass biker chick.
And a liar. She said she was terrified of those things.
I know. She is a liar.
Jeez.
She also had obviously prepped this ahead of time. And question number 2, how many sheets were on her bed that she was able to tie them all together? Like, are there like 5 layers of sheets on that bed?
Yes.
Because there were that many knots.
Yeah. Also, why is she not telling them about her secret biker path? Like, I guess the idea is to establish her as she also keeps secrets just like them. Look at that. He's holding balls.
That's really cool.
What is that?
I like the 3 faces on the right.
The
Staring and judging.
The architecture of Joel Schumacher's Batman series is really quite out there. Yeah, I like whenever it's not something Batman, whenever you see Batman stuff, there's Batman logos all over it. Whenever you're in Gotham, there's Gotham logos all over everything. Yes. Incidentally, that is Tom Hardy, just so you know. That's not true. So I don't want any comments.
You're a liar too.
People being like, that's not Tom Hardy.
You and Alicia Silverstone, both liars. But hey, at least she wears full safety gear on the motorcycle.
She does. Kudos to her for being safe.
Why would you put an observatory in a city? Like,
it does seem the light pollution would make that
particularly in Joel Schumacher.
The very colorful light pollution would make it a less than ideal location.
I had to write a letter.
This was an odd choice, but an interesting original one in that Batman, or Bruce Wayne, has a girlfriend who doesn't know he's Batman. Nor is it ever a plot in this. There's no plot device whatsoever in this film to denote that at all. It's just, that's his girlfriend. She is Elle Macpherson, I believe, and she's just in the movie. She's like talking about getting married and stuff. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, is he gonna get married and have kids? And then like, she's gonna find out he's Batman and just be like, what the hell? I also want to point out that Poison Ivy doesn't like Wayne Enterprises because Wayne Enterprises logo is on one of the beakers, and she then immediately assumed Wayne Enterprises is evil.
Was it on the beaker that said Venom?
I'm glad she didn't pick up like, what if she would have picked up Venom? Would she just be going after like the Spider-Man
villain?
Like
I must get.
She picks up an empty Egg McMuffin wrapper and goes after the McDonald's.
I must stop McDonald's. They're behind it all. Elle Macpherson, I believe, does not know what kind of movie she is in, so she is acting the shit out of this scene. There's that bobble. There it goes. There it goes.
Bobbly,
it's
bobbly,
like
bobbly.
He's like a spring, like just when you hit a spring and it just sort of wobbles back and forth. Like every time he has to talk, it just causes him to wobble. It's something he doesn't do now, so he must have been very aware of it after a certain point. Probably when people like us, assholes like us, are like, his head bobbles the whole time. He's like, oh, it's a character flaw. I'm sorry. I tried. George Clooney's not sad about anything. Come on. George Clooney.
I'm pretty sure he's all right with his
George
life.
Clooney wakes up and is like, fucking George
Man,
Clooney.
I am awesome.
And then somebody reminds him he was in Batman and Robin. He was like, I don't care. I'm George Clooney. It doesn't matter. It was at the beginning of my career.
They still paid me.
They still paid me a lot of money. I was still offered sequels. They just didn't.
Did you see how good my nipples looked on that batsuit?
Boom. He was an odd choice, even when he was actually for a while. He was my favorite Bruce Wayne, just because he was the only one that seemed to really be liking being Bruce Wayne, which was just different. I think it doesn't
as opposed to like the actors who really like the Batman side of it, and the Bruce Wayne was just a sort of something you have to do.
Yeah, or like you got Michael Keaton, who's very torn. There's like in Batman Returns, he's like, when the bat signal comes up and he sees it for the first time in the movie, he's literally sitting in his study completely alone in the dark. And it's like, well, that just shows you how non-existent Bruce Wayne is for him. It's nice visual symbolism to let you know how sort of non-existent he is. Whereas this movie, he's just kind of having like fun. Like, he literally set up an event where he is the guest as Batman. Like, he is having fun being Bruce Wayne now.
What, you don't do that?
They usually go with that torn Bruce Wayne who's a little bit.
Oh yeah, like there's nothing tortured about George Clooney's Bruce Wayne. I think he's basically playing it as himself if he were secretly a superhero, which there's no proof that he's not.
No proof. Autobiography for George Clooney.
Just so you know, ladies and gentlemen out there in the internet land, be mindful of George Clooney. He might actually be a superhero.
All I'm saying is I've never seen George Clooney and Batman in the same place at the same time.
Never have. Maybe set photos.
What, stunt double?
His cake. He's just watching. He's so sad. He's so sad he became like a murderous supervillain.
I like how he has like two different sizes of TVs set up in a nicely asymmetrical structure, all encased in ice.
I think in the 90s, because there was a thing back in the 90s, like bunch of TVs all put together. I remember Best Buy used to have like that one, and it would be like multiple TVs. I think people in the 90s thought that was what the future was going to be. We're going to have like 7 TVs in front of us.
Well, I mean, that's
what
my living room's like at all times.
It kind of is in that we have multiple screens.
Oh yeah,
but
no, that's fair. That's fair. My laptop, my iPad, my iPhone, my TV,
all playing home movies at the same time.
all playing the same movie,
the exact same home movie, synced up with one another. Of me eating cake back when my wife was not deathly ill and suspended in Bacta, and I was not wearing.
What the heck is going on? Is that like an outside the pants cup that this guy is wearing? Do you see that? It was skull shaped.
I did. I wish we could go back.
Borrowed from the Mad Max set. Use a skull shaped crotch protector.
Codpiece is the word I was trying to remember.
There it is. I was trying to find that as well. That's crotch protector was the best I could
outside the pants cup is
Here
probably.
we are watching a live performance of The Lion King.
It
really does have that like tone and feel of you're watching some kind of stage show. You're watching. This is there's actually I visit Disney World pretty often, and
I think
there's a lion. There is like a festival of the lion.
Live.
There's like a festival of the Lion King at Disney World, and this is pretty much it.
Exactly like this.
It has a very similar tone and feel. Batman and Robin are now just celebrities. That's just all they are.
Yeah, so this is very much the like duly deputized agents of the law, where they're working with the police.
I like the half-cocked hat
ISIS.
on Commissioner
That's
Gordon.
topical.
Oh, here's some weird monkeys. Nothing strange about that. Think Freeze will take the bait? He'll be here.
Okay, so would these be the longest bat ears on any of the bat suits that we've seen in films?
I don't know.
They're pretty impressive.
They're kind of ridiculous. So,
straight from the set of Congo, we have these gorillas.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, these look better than the ones in Congo.
They look like they kind of look like the kind of masks that you would see on like gorilla characters in like old like serials, like old like films from the 30s and 40s, like this is the gorilla costume from Tarzan, like where it just kind of doesn't really look right, and it looks like too fuzzy and poofy, and it's just
he just went to the stylist first. He got a nice blowout, and he's feeling very, very volumetric right now.
I'd like to point out right now we're watching Batman and Robin, and this is happening. This right here. It's
sexy gorilla hand.
Ooh. Here we go. You know, there's probably a fetish out there for this. That's specifically like Uma Thurman in the monkey
human
costume
hands
with like
and gorilla nipples.
Yes.
GorillaNipples.com. Coming soon.
Director Joel Schumacher really knows how to play to his fetishes.
That's probably a real site, and there's like
Gorilla nipples.
Right. Traffic to GorillaNipples.com just shot through the roof. Randy's looking it up as we speak.
Oh God!
I won't tell you
I don't
when
even
this
know.
came up on Randy's phone.
You know how to describe that in an audio commentary. I was describing to Michael and Alex that E.T. had a porno, and then I pulled up a GIF of it, and that was still up on my phone.
Saved
And
his homepage.
It was still animating too. E.T. was enjoying it quite a bit.
E.T. was having a lot of sex right there.
Speaking
If
of
you have
sexy
never
things,
seen E.T. porno, be sure to Google it.
At
Just
work
don't.
or school, wherever you happen to be.
It's completely safe for work. No, actually,
also,
it's not
if
even
you're looking
safe.
for a new job after watching this.
It's not the GorillaNipples.com. Oh wait, I spelled it wrong.
Oh, you misspelled gorilla or nipples?
Yeah, I my autocorrect on my phone has been acting up. All right, GorillaNipples.com takes me nowhere.
What?
It takes me just to a Google search.
Really?
Yeah.
GorillaNipples.com.
Let
Is
me
it
try putting in the
available to
www.
register?
We can look it up. Let's see. All right, people keep commenting, and I will look it up.
All right, Randy's on the case. So this is like a oh, okay.
She gets him horny,
Yeah.
like crazy horny. Like what is being horny like in the Batman costume? Because it's pretty tight. So like when you, like if you get hard, you're just like
cod piece looks like it's pretty like, you know, stiff on its own. Stiff was a poor choice of words. I apologize. It looks like hard doesn't work either. What's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't look like it's malleable. Like it's not going to conform to the shape of what's inside it. Like those aren't actually the shape of George Clooney's abs, much as he'd like to believe.
I have found I've got the results of the test back.
Oh.
Gorilla Nipples is not available.
Not so
Someone out there
registered
thought
Gorilla
of it.
What about .net?
Most of the other ones were
.io.
open. We could buy .guru, GorillaNipples.guru. GorillaNipples.org. GorillaNipples.biz. Like no one uses these other like .co, .net.
GorillaNipples.green. There we go.
I didn't even know .green was a thing.
Green Gorilla Nipples.
This is where Batman and Robin go into a bidding war because they want to have sex with her. Oh, Batman credit card. It says
Available
Batman
on eBay.
Forever on it. Never leave the cave without it. I really wish this whole movie were done in Christian Bale's voice. Which now, in the next subtitle that comes up, I'm definitely going to be reading it in Christian Bale's voice. The Batman voice. That's another one where he's got to hate that. He's got to hate just being like, so that Batman voice is pretty stupid. Pretty stupid there. I read somewhere that even his wife thought it was dumb. But I don't know if that's true. Internet land, if you want to look that up, go ahead. And whatever you find out, you can just... I don't need to know. It's all right.
We're good.
I like how half of these kicks are hitting, but it's like really obvious the other half are not. Woo! That doesn't physics, but that's okay. It's Joel Schumacher physics.
Did you just beat that guy with a sombrero?
I think it was a serving tray.
Oh.
A servebrero?
Yeah, it's like they're like you put drinks on it. It's kind of cool, like how it has lights. Everything has lights. I imagine the theft after this film was over, the like set theft was probably really high.
Like I'm never gonna have to spend money at Christmas again.
What?
Whoa.
I like how there's no physics in
That
this at all.
didn't make sense. Again, I'm telling you, same universe as Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah.
Fine Lady had an entirely different meaning back then.
Oh, what?
I'm horny.
My balls are already blue. I can only do Russian accents. So that just means something
next time
else.
George Clooney says something, I'm going to do it in the Batman voice, and then you can, in Christian Bale's Batman voice, and then you can do it in Russian. The Russian Batman. No offense to any Russians out there.
Or Batman.
Or Arnold, or any of the accents we will be making fun of, because we are making fun of them, because why not? There it is. Of course, we got in the middle of an action scene, so there's no dialogue outside of Arnold in there.
Did we ever see who was in the other gorilla costume? Like, there were two gorillas.
Bane. It was
Bane was
and
the other one?
Yeah, Bane was in the one, and she was in the other.
The
Incidentally,
interesting thing is, like, their costume sizes looked identical,
Yeah.
and yet one of them is Uma Thurman and the other is Bane.
is Bane a professional wrestler?
Who played Bane in this?
I have no idea.
Okay.
It probably is a wrestler. It looks like a wrestler. He's got kind of a wrestler physique, like a little bit bulky, but not like crazy, like just muscles. But he's actually a little like not pudgy, but just sort of like doughy.
Yeah, I mean he's got that like super strong but not cut physique. Like
Yeah.
he's not lean. That's how I like him.
Aww. He was played by a guy named Jeep Swenson, who died
Was Jeep
the same year this came out.
Oh.
Like the
At
same
least-
summer.
Oh, there now we see it's Bane. Okay, all right.
Like shortly after this came out, he passed away.
Now was
Aw.
Jeep his birth name?
No, Robert Alexander Swenson Jr.
Okay, so he only got that name once he was the approximate size and weight.
He was
of
in
a
No
vehicle.
Holds Barred, which is another film that we should do a commentary for.
Okay.
Hulk Hogan and James Caan delivered eulogies at his funeral.
Hmm. From the Hulk Hogan thing, I'm guessing professional wrestler is probably correct.
He was over 400 pounds when he died. He had a massive myocardial infarction.
Yeah.
Well,
That's heart attack, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
I
Jeep,
saw something about WCW in there.
Sorry
what
that-
was his wrestling name?
sorry that you're not around, Jeep.
The ultimate final solution.
Wait, the final solution and the ultimate solution, both of those sound really, really Nazi-ish.
Well, there's this whole... His WCW ring name was changed from Final Solution to Ultimate Solution due to protests from Jewish groups.
Ah, there we go.
WCW claimed they were
Ding,
unaware
ding,
that
ding.
the Final Solution was the name Hitler gave to his plan to destroy.
Ultimate
The
Solution
Jews.
just sounds like the sequel where Super Hitler returns from the grave.
Ultimate.
Mecha Hitler.
People who made Kung Fury get on that. Ultimate Solution. Like, I really want in this, the city of Cleveland, which is where we all reside, I would love to see a giant hand statue. The closest we get is the Guardian.
No, and I've always said the Guardians of Transportation. For those of you not familiar, Cleveland has these 4 statues that are at either end of one of the bridges from downtown Cleveland to the west side, where there are these giant Gotham-esque statues of men holding various vehicles, like covered
cement
wagons
trucks and stuff.
yeah, exactly.
If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll try to put up a picture so you can see what the Guardians look like. They're a bit ridiculous, but kind of awesome. I love them.
I love them.
No, particularly when these movies came out, I had a newfound respect for them because I remember really loving the architecture of these movies, and then driving down to Cleveland and being like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. That's kind of based on probably stuff like this.
Okay, so one of the things with Batman movies, and anytime when you see them in like the full Batman, there's makeup around their eyes that you never see the transition. Like, it's obvious that it's makeup between the mask and the eyeballs.
And then they'll take the mask off and the makeup will be mysteriously
and it's just
gone.
It's just gone.
I've never understood why they don't really address that. I think maybe Batman Returns does at the end. I think when he pulls his off, maybe he's got black makeup around his eyes. But
Okay.
It's probably just so they're not having a scene. He's even bobbling his head.
As Bat, is there actually an articulated neck in that costume? Because
There is not. And I remember he said this costume was very, very difficult to wear. So I'm guessing the bobble came from like pain in his neck.
Okay, all right. Because I was gonna say, I know that the first Tim Burton Batman, that the neck was not articulated, which is why like Batman always just like turns from the waist and shoulders.
Yeah, which was a decision so that he would move unnaturally. So he would move like
mission accomplished.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it like seems to have broken George Clooney. Who's just bobbling his head through every single scene.
I gotta get nimble.
It's sort of like, you know, if
look at him, he's like hunched over throughout the entire film.
If you're in a car for like hours and you get out, the first thing you want to do is like shake out your limbs. Like that's how this Bruce Wayne is. As soon as he gets out of the bat suit, he's just like, oh, I can move my head again. Oh yeah, bobble bobble bobble.
I wonder what the suit smells like when they're done, like when they get out of it. Is it just like, oh my god, this
it's
smells
a little
so
moist
bad.
in there. You're gonna have to use.
I imagine that if you knew anyone who like did diving, like wetsuits are probably a similar sort of thing. And
like, does he pee in it? Like, if he has to pee,
if he
does
wants
just
to stay
pee?
warm.
Yeah, when he's going against Mr. Freeze, there's a high probability.
I was
of
gonna
urine
say
there.
like that was one of my friends who was a surfer said that, oh yeah, to warm up you always just pee inside your wetsuit. It helps keep you warm out in the water.
Well, there you go.
And so if you're fighting Mr. Freeze, you know that you're just pissing yourself the whole time for multiple reasons.
Just so you know, ladies and gentlemen at home, if you are underwater or you wear a bat suit, pee in it, and you'll feel better. But then you'll probably feel immediately cold.
Or attracts them.
Or attracts them. If you have urine or blood in your urine, you will be...
Ooh, yeah. That's...
Don't be rocking an infection if you're going to pee in your wetsuit while diving. That is
life lesson.
That's the ultimate point of this commentary
pee in your
right now.
if there's blood in your urine.
If there's blood in your urine, obviously the biggest thing you have to worry about is sharks coming after you. Like, everything else is gravy once you get past the shark problem.
Like, you woke up in the morning and you peed and there's a little bit of blood and you're like, whatever, I'm going to go diving anyway. I like how this scene, they put dust on her face and it looks kind of like she's got a beard. Like, it's just really subtle, but when she turns her head, it's like she's got a 5 o'clock shadow. It's not good. She was originally, her name is Barbara, but she's not Barbara Gordon. I believe they changed this was a change from the film, or the comic books rather.
Wait, there's green lightning. The lightning is even green.
Well, if you
here.
remember, Edward Nygma from the previous film had that thing, and maybe the clouds are still polluted with his memory stealing device or whatever it was that he had. But it literally is lightning and green. I love it. It makes no sense.
Yeah, because it's like tan colored walls, and then the lightning strikes, and it's green.
Gotham Electro Deluxe? Is that the name of the refrigerator?
Well, they're in Gotham, so they have to remind you they're in Gotham. So yeah, everything has Gotham on it, and then everything in Batman World has Batman, and then everything in Robin World has Robin on it.
God, I need to put my name on everything I own.
You should just
seriously. Like, I'm gonna just
Michael McFarlane everywhere.
And my cars, I'm just gonna replace the Scion badge on my XB with a Michael McFarlane logo. Actually, that's not a bad idea.
That's actually
thank
really
you for
good
that idea.
Thank you, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now he's basically looking right in the camera. Oh, his performance is holding him back. Oh, I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's so funny. I think he really loves comedy, and so any chance he can get to be like funny, which is funny because this right here is not funny because he looks terrified. But like whenever he can be funny, he really loves to play it up. And I wish he was in more comedies, like more just straight up funny movies,
like Twins.
Well, yeah, but funnier than Twins. I just watched Twins like not that long ago, and I was completely bored with it. I was really bummed because it's one of those movies I loved when I was a kid.
So like Junior.
Yeah, it played like Twins played like Junior. God, who knows what Junior's gonna play like? Maybe it'll be really funny now. I'll just watch it and be like, holy crap, this is the best one. This is Arnold's best film. I love how they put Bane in the stupid
it's like Fedora disguises him no matter what. Like he's got all these tubes coming out of the back.
Again, this is written by Ninja Turtles.
He's got a trench coat and a fedora.
This is Ninja Turtle logic. If you've seen the original Ninja Turtles, Raphael goes to a movie dressed in a trench coat and like a hat.
This is
a neon
like
game.
Ninja Turtles right there.
What?
Yeah, so you're about halfway into the movie now. What are you thinking? What's the...
It's like the entire city is a laser tag arena.
We've just discovered Darth Maul's people actually live underneath Gotham.
I remember like thinking this kind of makeup stuff was just really brilliant, but also at the same time completely stupid. But I really like, it's really creepy looking. In a different film, this would probably be really inspired.
The Gotham Underground is lit entirely with black lights.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. I mean, it's lightning.
It's green lightning and
Green.
Yeah.
So is this like a rival gang? Like, are these like, is this a proto supervillain that's...
They want the lair.
No,
So-
I mean,
you
the
mean in the-
neon guys? Like, what are they doing there?
These
they, like...
are a Joel Schumacher creation.
These apparently not canon in the
Yeah,
Batman world.
The blacklight villains are not, to my knowledge, canon. If there's anyone out there in internet land who knows wrong, you can keep it to yourself. I don't really care.
Are we
much.
sure those weren't load-bearing beams that he just knocked down?
Don't they need a permit for some of this stuff?
They better get.
This
a
has got to be
structural
really hard
engineer in
because
here.
Oh,
now there's water damage. Gonna have to get a new sump pump in the basement.
This has got to be really, really, having a blacklight house is gonna be hard for Bane because he was raised in the dark. So, whatever.
I don't get it.
You don't get it? Yeah. Have you not seen The Dark Knight Rises?
No.
Oh wow. We do a commentary on that at some point too.
Compare and contrast.
Oh, it'd be great to make that the follow-up commentary. It's just like, what the hell? Those are two different interpretations.
Obviously the same universe.
Ooh, computer-generated vines. The effects, the computer effects for this film, because this is like 97, are actually pretty decent. They inevitably don't hold up now, but I'm sure someone would put a video together that says how these effects are so much better than current
So much
effects.
better than what you're getting nowadays.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those comparison videos, and every time I see one, I'm just sort of like, oh, this is grasping. Like, effects are pretty good nowadays. I think it's just easier to know when you're seeing an effect because it's so good.
Yeah. I mean, these look better than the Scorpion King did at the end of the...
Oh, yeah, that's probably one of the worst.
I still remember being in theaters and seeing that awful CG Scorpion King.
He's just like, he's got his mouth open and he's all frozen. Like, he's just sort of like, like, he just looks so stupid looking.
It looks like he looked worse than a Rock action figure that someone had, like... like the kid from Toy Story that had like pulled it apart and stuck it on a toy scorpion. Like, it was worse than that.
Like, you could probably have done the Scorpion King as like claymation, and it probably would have looked just as good, but slightly more lifelike.
Oh, it would have looked significantly better.
Yeah, here she's just sort of going on about how she wants to get married, and he's got to be thinking the whole time, I'm Batman, I'm Batman, I'm Batman. Holy crap, she doesn't even know. She doesn't even know. She knows
This is so
nothing about
I
being
love
Batman.
being Batman. Being Batman's awesome.
I like that George Clooney's Batman is his like dog mentality.
I
love being Batman.
That's the same voice I give my dog when I'm speaking for her.
Being Batman is so awesome.
I'm Batman. I'm a dog.
Oh, I'm Batman. Oh, I'm kissing Alma Cruz and I'm Batman.
She actually bobbles her head too.
She's just trying to compensate.
Yeah.
It looks like she just got
It's a
finished with
reverberation.
She just looks like she just got finished blowing him. She had like mouth open, like just that.
Well, if you check the deleted scenes.
Yeah.
I wonder how many women in this film George Clooney slept with. I'm gonna go
Like-
with all of them.
Does that include like the craft services people? Or?
I'm gonna go with just cast.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess maybe not Uma Thurman, but I'm thinking Elle Macpherson. Yeah, I'm thinking like the model that plays Mr. Freeze's wife. Yeah,
I mean, who
they
hasn't?
probably did. They probably met at the after party. Alicia Silverstone, oh definitely. She probably had sex with both of these. I don't know. Yeah, both of them. She might even
Eiffel
had sex.
Tower?
She might even had sex with
Eiffel
Michael Gough.
Tower.
Oh my god. There's just a neon face. Like someone had gotten
Neon
was like
luchador.
neon face.
Let's project neon luchadors all
Like,
over these
what
walls,
is this?
decaying post-apocalyptic walls.
I want to live in this world. It's so like ridiculous and colorful, and what the hell is all of this? Like this, like it was the the Warriors?
It's either Warriors or it's Clockwork Orange that those.
Well, those guys were definitely.
Those guys
like,
were straight Clockwork Orange.
This just feels like
like where are the baseball furies? I want to see the baseball furies show up to this.
There's Coolio. You never thought you'd see Coolio in a Batman film. There he is, though. That was a big deal. I remember like Coolio. Everyone was like, "Ooh, Coolio's in this." I was like, "Really?"
I want to intercut scenes from Fast and Furious right into here. By the way, that looks like Wesley from Princess Bride, right?
Oh my God, it does. Oh, that is weird. There's children. He's not keeping. He's real subtle when it comes to whether or not he's Robin. Just wearing his Robin helmet. Oh, this movie.
God, that is epic mullet right there.
Oh.
Like, seriously, there are so many wonderfully colored mullets here that would put Joe Dirt to shame.
Joe Dirt 2 just hit Crackle.
Crackle?
Yeah.
What is Crackle?
Sony's streaming service. I believe it is free. You can watch Joe Dirt 2, American Loser.
Well, it's worth what you pay for it, at least.
Yeah. Whatever. More power to them. They want to make it.
I'm going to watch it.
You're going to watch it?
Yeah, I'm going to be an expert in Joe Dirt. I'll be like, well...
we can do a commentary. You'll watch Joe Dirt too, but we won't. And then you can be like the authority figure in Joe Dirt.
And I'll tell you about like all the other Joe Dirt films and like, well, this mullet here isn't quite canon, but...
Oh... I like that they just Sparks just randomly kicked out. This movie has such amazing production design. They say, I remember in the documentary, there's like a documentary for this film, Phone Blocks. I like how there's just props that they can crash into.
They went to the local laser tag arena to get all of these barrels. They probably have stenciled like toxic waste on them, like they always do.
They talk about it like in the featurettes, like how they used to just bring people to this set because the sets were just like the biggest sets anyone had ever built. And are
we sure that this isn't borrowed from The Running Man? Because it really looks like it's some of the same.
This looks like maybe it's that the freeway in California where they shot like Terminator 2. Like
yeah,
that.
probably.
It's probably that sewer thing just lit to the gill with like crazy. Even the lights on that are like pink. Not bad for a chick.
For a chick.
Good Lord. Though this was the era where, feminine archetype heroes actually, weren't just like crappy sidekicks to, like they are today. Think about Jurassic World and just
That's true. I mean, there were some movies that like as far as having worthwhile female characters that were written as humans. There were actually some that did pretty well. Like like Ripley in the Alien movies and all that. Like, there were some solidly written characters. In some ways, I think we've stepped backwards from that a little bit.
Yeah, I don't really know what that's... Even her character, your perception of her is that she's kind of weak in the beginning, and that's kind of how everybody treats her. And then, she's pretty competent, though she does get saved here by Robin. Yeah. She would have otherwise died here had Robin not gone.
What? Aren't they racing? Like, why are they racing over a bridge that ends midway through?
Yeah, that seems like a poorly laid out track right there.
That was not a good track.
Oh, damn.
So she just would have straight up died here. I keep wanting to call her Barbara Gordon.
That was a waste of a good motorcycle, though. I was trying to pick out what kind of bike she was riding the whole time, but...
Is she Barbara Pennyworth in this?
Is she Alfred's niece or something?
She's Barbara Wilson.
Barbara Wilson.
She's Alfred's niece. And
Alfred Pennyworth.
Yeah, that's his standard last name. But I want to imagine the backstory is that she's actually Wade Wilson's sister, and so like she's the sister of Deadpool, because that's all kinds of fun.
Now you're mixing.
I know.
Now you're mixing.
I know.
You can't do that.
Watch me.
Do that.
Watch
me. People get really upset about it. It's like Republicans and Democrats now. Like, you can't like DC properties if you like Marvel.
Well, at least I'm drinking from a Superman cup.
I have an Avengers cup.
Oh.
Let's cheers. United. You have
they're
vitamin
plastic
water.
cups, or you would have heard a clink right there.
Yeah, they're plastic. So
It was just sort of a dull thunk.
I got these for 50 cents at Walmart.
Obviously manufactured side by side as well.
Yeah,
'Cause they're very much the same material and
I love these
construction.
cups. So you can just like rewash them tons of times. They're gigantic 32-ounce cups. So you just fill them up with water. There we go.
So Alfred is dying.
Alfred is dying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what all the pooping was about.
There's lovely Robin. But I can tell.
He's holding it steady there.
There's somebody behind him.
Someone like holding his head from behind. There was someone on the set. If you read through the credits, there's actually someone credited
Clooney's
as
stabilizer.
Clooney's cranial stabilizer. They just stand behind him and like hold his head steady.
Oh, he's MacGyvering this. Oh, he's not.
Like, what is MacGyvering?
Oh, he's so sad. Look at him. He just loves her.
Does he have like a miniature sculpture of his wife?
Yeah, he made it from an icicle.
Oh,
He just loves her so much. You can really see it.
see the love in those bloodshot eyes.
And those bloodshot blue eyes. He is getting a lot across, considering how restricted he probably is. And that's Jesse Ventura right there.
Yeah, so it is.
That's great.
The mind.
Sister? Did I just accidentally Siri?
How did they let her into jail? Like, no one's like, wait a minute. Something seems off here.
So I've never understood this hairstyle specifically. Like, is she going for like rabbit ears or?
Oh my god, the looks on their faces when it hits. This guy must have been really terrible, so they put a patch on him. We give you life, and we take it away just as easily. God, her performance is amazing. She's having a ball.
And so is
Oh,
he.
and they're dead. They die
Oh.
immediately.
That's the like shortest Jesse the Mind Ventura cameo ever.
The mind? I
Oh,
think it's
yeah.
the body.
Not anymore. Once he ran for
Jesse the
governor.
mind Ventura.
There are a shocking number of governors in this movie.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Like, holy crap.
Then there's like a real senator in the Christopher Nolan films.
Yeah.
A terrible senator, if I'm not mistaken.
Like in real life, or
Yeah. He was like a really big Batman fan, and he's in The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. He's the guy that like the Joker puts the blades up to at the party.
really?
Yeah.
Huh. He managed to get some things added to some legislation to get into the movie. Like what? How do you manage to do that? Like just by being in the government, you can manage to get yourself
Apparently,
in films.
You just call a number and they
'Cause-
put you in a movie.
Because I thought like if you're running for office, you can't be. Because I know that was one of the reasons why Arnold Schwarzenegger like stopped being in films for a while.
Well, you can, I think, but he stopped being in movies just because he wanted to focus on like being the governor. I'm just gonna say the governor.
I mean, that
No,
was his
whatever.
official title, right? That was
Yeah,
his
he probably
the first thing he did was get an amendment to the California Constitution to have the title be governor.
I'll grab your rocks. Was that the quote?
That was the quote.
Oh.
I'll help you grab your rocks.
exit. Oh my god, this character, Bane. Like fans of Batman comics were fresh off like the Bane story. Like, the Bane breaking Batman's back. And, like, I remember, like, thinking this was going to be so cool to see this character. And not knowing what we were going to get. And, like, then just seeing it and being like, they didn't get that right. That was my response. It was very subdued. No, it was
I
actually
was gonna say, like, I think that's the most subdued fanboy response I've ever heard. Oh,
the sensible fanboy.
No big deal.
I'm slightly disappointed at this.
I want to
disappointed by the artistic
I'm gonna
decisions
start a
they
new
made.
meme that's called sensible fanboy. That's just like reasonable reaction
Reaction to the Joker in the Suicide Squad trailer.
Like,
Interesting. It's
Not
not
how I
what
would
I would
have
have
Brush
done.
his teeth.
but not a big deal.
The
I
sensible
respect
fanboy.
oral
Sensible
hygiene.
fanboy.
I do like the fan theory about why in the Suicide Squad he's got the grill on his teeth is that Batman punched his face in,
Oh,
busted his teeth up.
like Batman does.
So if you're listening to this in the future and you've
You
already
can-
seen Suicide Squad,
You can tell us if
that's
we're right.
That's what we thought.
How wrong we were.
How wrong we were. It turns out he's a lizard man and his tentacles come out of his teeth because the director completely misinterpreted the Joker.
Wait, did Michael Bay direct this?
David Ayer, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Not a big David Ayer fan. Well, I don't know David Ayer. David Ayer the person might be awesome, but past 2 films I've seen of his, which incidentally Arnold Schwarzenegger is in one. I think he did Sabotage.
I don't think I'm familiar.
Sabotage is a fairly recent film that Arnold Schwarzenegger was in. It's not a very good movie, but Arnold's been picking some interesting films. Yeah, David Ayer.
How did Robin know? How did Robin get the news that Mr. Freeze has escaped?
Google.
Like, I've got a Google alert on Mr. Freeze on my Razor phone.
I get a lot of false positives for.
It would be a Nokia at this point.
Yeah.
My Motorola StarTAC phone just got a
Bat-tac.
I love this. That is great. The shot of Bane. Oh my god.
It's like they posed for it.
Like, was there a photographer just like
It was-
snapping
it was
photos?
actually a
of people?
photographer for Life magazine that was, just taking pictures of
I really wish the
supervillains returning home.
I really wish the points there just got longer as the film went on. It seems like they are. God, they're so long.
That's what I'm saying. I want to see a comparison of length.
Look at him
of
just
Batman points. Because
Just
like in the
walking and bobbling.
in the ad, yeah. How can you bobble in
He's
a leg?
bobbling his whole head.
His from the shoulders. He's bobbling
that's
from
core
the shoulders.
strength. That's what that is.
I feel like George Clooney probably when he wakes up every morning, he's spine as he bends his spine. He's like, Batman and Robin.
I mean, that's how
Arthritis.
you look at those abs. You don't get a bat pack like that without some serious bobble workouts.
You can't see them. Like, there aren't lights underneath there that are lighting them up. Batman doesn't have good peripherals, I guess, since he can't turn his head. Stage 1, cure found. He found a cure for the disease in some stages. Oh, boy. Oh, he looks so sad.
Are his eyes getting more bloodshot as it goes on?
When he is not... when his suit isn't making him cold,
Oh.
he gets, like, really, like, sick.
Okay, that makes
Like,
sense.
almost immediately sick.
That makes sense.
Not really. It doesn't make any sense.
It
at
makes
all.
more sense than most of the movies.
It makes sense I guess, in the framework of the Joel Schumacher universe.
Can they see the pink stuff?
I don't know.
Like,
it
yeah,
seems like they
or is
can't.
it like Family Guy and Stewie talking, and only certain people can see this pink stuff?
Was that just like a wrench on the wall? Heat. Freeze. I like how like some sort of like incandescent white fog freezes everything. Is incandescent the right word? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
It's a word.
It's a word.
It's a word.
Some sort of orthogonal white fog.
Some sort of paradoxical white fog.
Yeah, the Velociraptor white fog.
The onomatopoeia white fog.
The chimichanga white
This I want to point out that this was an ice cream factory. Like, who makes an ice cream factory that looks like this? Maybe this part here, maybe, but probably not still. This looks like ice cream that will murder you.
Look at the logo.
The logo is
clown has
terrifying.
rivets on the
It's
mouth.
a terrifying, like, clown snowman.
There's like that red snowman clown monster in the background. Oh, here she comes. Ooh.
Yeah, like I really want to know if that's visible or
He's
is it
not
just
reacting
like
like he can see it.
the smell lines from like a pie that Yogi Bear follows to the windowsill.
Yeah. Uh-oh. There's something about an anatomically correct rubber suit.
At least they acknowledge in the script, they acknowledge the nipples on the suit. Did she just like enable his head to move more than usual by doing that? Like I swear that's the most neck movement we've seen out of the bat suit.
That's
so
probably
far.
how he sustained the injury that's causing the bobble for the rest of the
They actually shot this first.
his spine.
And he had a
was
bobble ever
twisted.
since.
Yeah, and he just can't stop bobbling. He's just like, there it goes. He's like Will Ferrell's imitation of the baseball legend.
Oh, Harry Carey.
Harry Carey, yeah. Because he always does the bobblehead when he talks.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, it seems like, is Clooney just imitating that? Was he watching SNL at the time? Because that probably was a
the
hot
whole
sketch
time
of his-
in between takes.
He's just
he was
staring at
watching
Will
the
Ferrell's
best of
Harry.
Will Ferrell the whole time.
That's my motivation.
Oh my goodness. That light, just so you know, turns red to denote heat.
Oh, at least
They didn't
clear
take
about
that? They just kept it there? Like, that's a weapon. Those are not icicles, those are condoms for Bigfoot.
Bigfoot has
They're
a strange.
look, see, they're like
Oh,
bouncing
yeah,
back
they
around.
do.
Drives me nuts. Like, come on,
They
guys.
they might be used condoms
They
for
look
Bigfoot.
like used condoms from. They look like Bane's condoms. There's still ice cream here, so he's about to get dropped in the ice cream, and like, why is there still ice cream in the vats? Like they've had this for a while. Like that's got to be not good anymore.
Well, maybe it's like a way to fence the diamonds and stuff and like launder all of the diamond money is through this like
Rancid
like
ice cream.
horrifying ice cream.
I like that for like 8 hours of the day, like the ice cream shop is open, and Mr. Freeze is just like a law-abiding citizen who will sell you ice cream.
This is his pollos hermanos.
Would you like one scoop or two? Everything freezes here.
See, this is actually a look inside the Jenny's ice cream factory. This is how all the listeria happens.
Yeah.
You have issues with women. You can't stand it. She kissed me and not you.
Just imagine everything he says is in Luke Skywalker's voice.
Luke Skywalker's whiny voice.
From the first episode, from episode 4, if we're
The
going.
first episode we saw as children.
Exactly.
There we go. For all you people at home who've seen episodes 1, 2, and 3 first. We lived in the era before all of that. Before there wasn't a Star Wars film every 5 minutes. By the time you might see this, there might be a Star Wars film every 5 minutes. It looks weirdly creepy with the ice cream all over him.
Was that mint?
It was like a mint
yeah.
chocolate, maybe. Make a mint chocolate chip.
I didn't see the chips, but maybe that's the mint ice cream before they mix in the
It's
chips.
toothpaste. That's all it is. Look at her.
wobbling on those shoes.
Well, if you
Oh! You turned the
there
bubble
goes-
machine off.
there goes wifey,
Oh no, that was mean.
and she forgot to put the fish feeder like blocks in before going on vacation too.
Turkish bath. What? What was going on in Gotham before bath?
Yeah, I like how there's
Well, this was actually the most popular gay bathhouse before Poison Ivy took
Like,
over.
what's going on here? This was probably one of those,
Naked dudes,
naked dudes
just hanging out in the nude.
in the nude.
In the nude.
I want her to have the Batman voice. God, I wonder what at this point we don't know what Ben Affleck's voice is. I hear it's robotic,
In real life, or
like
or
in the movie, like it's
Batman?
it's a synthesized thing. But we'll know maybe by the time you at home listen to this. Oh, he.
Are they gonna freeze? I knew it.
Oh, CG. I'm sorry.
So wait, those eyebrow things. So those are something she glues on after the fact. Like
Yeah, no, those are just totally
she's like,
She's like, well, I'm gonna live up the part, I guess. I'll just hook some plastic crap to my
You know
eyes.
what I need? Mulch glued to my face.
Yeah, because they totally just don't have it here. Oh, she's so good in this movie, though. Oh, there's probably people who heard me say that and are like, what the hell's wrong?
Yeah.
Terrible.
Like, God, this guy's crazy.
Like, no, from pure camp, though.
Yeah, she's one of the few people that actually knew what movie she was in.
Absolutely. She was well aware. Gotham! I bought this at the store.
They sold these at the airport.
Just what I had in mind.
I was hoping he would, like, for the world, he'd pick up a different snow globe. He just had a snow globe for everything.
That's how he communicates primarily, is by snow globes.
Behold the new age.
Feed me, Seymour.
Your animatronic puppet. That does not look as good as Little Shop of Horrors.
No, it really does
That looks
not.
like something you'd buy at Spencer's.
I actually did. They're like, wait a second, we forgot to build the animatronic plant. Quick, go to Spencer's.
Go to Spencer's and buy whatever they have.
Get some more black lights.
Yeah.
And one
Buy all the black lights and the big condoms, like the full size, full body condoms. We need icicle staff. Alfred is dying. It's weird whenever you see a character like almost die in a movie and then like they are actually not around anymore. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's weird. Oh, he has McGregor syndrome.
Is that a real thing? Or...
No, it's
Okay.
because that's what Mr. Freeze's like wife has as well, which is completely.
Okay, so we're allowed to make fun of McGregor syndrome.
Let me make sure, but
I was gonna
For
say,
all you
like,
McGregor
I don't want to be
syndrome
really
sufferers.
insensitive about McGregor syndrome. Like, I was already like stepping into like dangerous territory.
Siri,
with
is
Parkinson's
McGregor
jokes.
syndrome real?
Let me think about that. Okay, I found this on the web for is McGregor syndrome real?
The answer is no for you people in internet land. The very first hit is Batman Wiki. McGregor syndrome is the disease that Mr. Freeze's wife Nora was suffering from. So there we go.
Excellent.
Well, that's good to know.
If I had any McGregor syndrome jokes, I would make them at will, but I've kind of run dry.
If
so-
we're-
Now you're free to like come up with syndromes and stuff like that too.
McGregor syndrome. He might have stage 1 of McGregor syndrome. 'Cause I've heard the first stage
that's
is
what he actually
the head
has,
bobble.
is stage 1 McGregor syndrome symptom.
Then your neck
head
slowly
bobble.
turns into a coil, and then you're just a full-on bobblehead.
Stage 2, it actually grows to twice the size of a normal head, so you look like a bobblehead doll.
Tired of living in your shadow. Keep your stupid comments in your pocket, Batman. That's a Room reference for anybody. And so we should do a commentary for that one. My God, should we do a commentary for The Room? Oh, I'm gonna throw up something.
And I'm pooping.
Pooping again. With no sound, it just looks like he's pooping. Here's an iPad.
I stole it from the future.
Find my brother Wilfred. God, I want them to find Wilfred and have him be a superhero in the next Batman, but we'd have to go back in time and make a fifth Batman.
I'm down for it. Dude.
Only family can be trusted. He sounds like Vin Diesel. I wish I have the worst Vin Diesel imitation, but it's also really funny. Oh, I wanted to say another line of dialogue, and I'll Vin Diesel it. Take it to Alfred, and I'll implore you, never open it. That's my Vin Diesel. It's the worst Vin Diesel, but whenever I do it, it always gets a chuckle because it's ridiculous. People at home though are listening to this and they're like, fuck this
that's not
commentary.
funny.
That was
I didn't
I love
chuckle.
Vin Diesel. He's my best friend. He has McGregor syndrome. I'm really worried
Do I
about
sound like I'm chuckling? I'm not chuckling. You might be chuckling. I'm not
it.
chuckling.
I'm not chuckling. There's no chuckle going on here.
The star-studded unveiling of this telescope that will see
Of
nothing
the giant
except,
phallic object.
except colored haze.
It's just gonna see light. This is a lot of people for a telescope unveiling. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like a real telescope unveiling is gonna have like 30 people.
That's a lot of rivets for a telescope too. Like that's built Titanic-esque.
The unsinkable
Not made to
telescope.
see you
Nothing
again.
bad could ever happen to this telescope.
Good lord. Guy weirdly looked like Michael Keaton for a second. Michael Keaton just
He
makes a
snuck
cameo
onto
in
the
it.
set. He's like, I'll just sneak my way in there.
Yep.
They'll see the real Bruce Wayne.
That happened. Sean Young, like broke into the offices of Batman Returns because she really wanted to be Catwoman. It was either the first movie or the second movie because she was actually going to be Vicky Vale in the original film, and then she hurt herself in a horseback riding scene that was cut from the film, obviously, and then replaced by Kim Basinger. And the rest
The
is
horse
history.
or her part.
Her part. No, the horse was replaced by young actor Matt Damon.
Oh yes.
Who was in it?
His breakthrough
Matt Damon
role.
was the horse. Yeah, he underwent an entire procedure to become a horse.
He was into the method acting thing.
He was
back
really
then.
method. George Clooney is too. They were like,
smells
bobble your
something.
head, and he was like, on it.
On it.
I'm gonna do it all the time now.
Even offset, he would be, eating lunch and
Just
and
sitting
just
there
bobbling the whole
eating
time.
a piece of pizza with his head just
Like,
bobbling back and
It's
forth.
amazing how George Clooney has really immersed himself into this role. He just bobbles all the time.
I wonder what method is like with somebody like Christian Bale, who is, I'm pretty sure a method actor. He's somebody who stays in character, even like when you yell cut, he's still like Bruce Wayne and Batman. So like, does that mean like when you're giving him directions, does he still, when you're giving him direction, you're telling him like, all right, I want you to do this. He's like, okay, got it. On it. All right, let me get into position. You're just like, all right, he's cool. I always, because I've heard that Daniel Day-Lewis is a massive method actor, pretty well known for his method. I always wanted to put him in a Planet of the Apes film and make him like an evil gorilla, and then just like invite him places when the film isn't going, so that you can be like, all right, we're gonna hang out with Daniel Day-Lewis tonight. Just FYI, he thinks he is a gorilla and he does not like humans. I'm sorry.
He will ask to be referred to as Bobo the entire evening.
Admittedly, I did this as a joke because I think it'll be really funny and uncomfortable for you guys. I'm sorry. All night long, he's just intimidating as hell to everybody.
I'm sad we never got to see the Daniel Day-Lewis episode of Punk'd.
There was going to be a Daniel Day-Lewis. There should be.
In my fantasies, yes.
Ashton Kutcher, if you're listening, and I know you are, get on that. Daniel Day-Lewis, Punk'd. Bring it back.
First, bring the show back.
Kickstart it. You can kickstart it. Put it on Kickstarter.
We've already come up with a prank for you.
There it is.
Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the
Daniel
Apes.
Day-Lewis, Angry Ape.
Or
Take
we
him to a party.
We can go with the clapper one that you had, where you just put the clapper in every single device in his house.
The claptastrophe.
But then have half of them on and half of them off.
Yes.
So no matter what you do, you never have the right clapper equilibrium.
Yeah, you can never get this.
Or
The madness
clapper-librium.
never stops. It's like a saw trap. I'd like to play a game. You're in a room with clappers.
And a migraine.
And you suffer from seizures.
Oh.
There's no defeat in death, Master Bruce. For I have pooped this entire film.
I'm still
I'm pooping now.
Pinch it off.
You're sitting on my chest. It hurts. It hurts so bad.
So this whole movie, I've been trying to figure out if it's just the lighting or if George Clooney actually has gray hair.
I think he has he's always kind of rocked a shimmer of gray.
Is this the only
Silver
salt and
Fox.
pepper Batman or Bruce Wayne that we've seen?
Well, I mean, he has it in Dark Knight Rises. You've got
Okay.
Christian Bale has like a streak, I think, and then in the Ben Affleck also has like salt and pepper.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
This is up to this point, hands down, this is the oldest Batman has kind of been seen. And that to me is the only refreshing aspect. I remember when I saw this movie, I really hated pretty much all of it, but I really did like this story with him and Alfred. I thought it was sweet. It feels a little out of place with the rest of the movie, since the rest of the movie is just
yeah.
a giant.
Losing
That's
control.
making it on the commentary.
You just burp up a little pizza.
I just did.
For all you in internet land, we had a little pizza before we started this.
I was just getting
the peg is gone. The love
Ah.
peg is gone. That's the moment.
It's actually.
But she will now look at it and it'll say love peg. I'm pretty sure
Does it come back?
it will come back. She'll look at it. Yeah.
Oh.
How do you make that mistake? That had to be like they probably did pickups like one day and they didn't have the right picture.
3 characters, least secure password ever.
Just so you know, the
Hey.
password to Batman's entire world, which comes with a 3D rendered graphical description of the Bat archives as we're seeing here. Peg, 3 characters, you can get right in. Not even capitalized. Not even like one of them, or like the
P,
the E is
the
a
capital,
3 or
the capital
something.
P at the beginning, but still, I'm pretty sure that
The P was
the P was
the
capitalized.
P was capitalized.
Well, this is like 1990s, wasn't it?
97.
So, like, as long as the password wasn't password, that was probably like super secure.
Yeah, I think I had password for my passwords back then because I was like 16 at this point. I had a computer for maybe like 3 years.
I must confess, I've used the same password since I was 12 years old for everything, and it's never been broken into.
Buckfutter.
Chumbawamba rocks.
Oh, you got me. Chumbawamba does rock.
Smash Mouth.
Shut your mouth.
Smash Mouth forever.
Hey, somebody once told me
George
the girl was gonna
Clooney is
roll me.
best Batman. That's my
George Clooney, best Batman ever.
Eva EVA.
84.
EVA is capitalized. You know, we gotta be secure. He's just bobbling his head way through this. Talking about family. We're family now. I've seen you naked. You've seen me naked.
We have the same changing room.
He weirdly, when he says
We have to
partner,
grease each other to get in these nipple suits.
he
That's
probably
also in
does.
the deleted
There's like a
scene.
Vaseline scene where they all move each other up.
That wasn't.
So they could get it. This is a hell of an observatory. I mean,
God.
look at that thing.
That needs to exist in real
Like,
life.
no.
Seriously.
Like, we can't, like, NASA can't even get funding. Research into space
Kickstarter.
gets
Let's get a Kickstarter
kickstart
going
the
to
Gotham
build
Observatory.
the observatory atop the gigantic statue.
I wonder, like, nowadays there'd probably be articles online about how, like, expensive Gotham would cost. Like, if it were real. I want to know how much this observatory costs. I bet this would probably be like a $200 million observatory to build something that ridiculous.
So what's the primary industry in Gotham, aside from statue building and stoneworking?
Wayne Enterprises.
Neon installation.
I would guess
Building
Wayne.
repair.
Building repair. I would guess police force, although they don't really need police. I like how the bombs are also ice.
Well, I'm thinking in terms of, like, you know, cities were always built on some natural... Is there a river that runs through Gotham? Like, what natural resources...
It sounds like the title of like a river runs.
A river
runs through Gotham.
An unreleased Harper Lee.
By Harper Lee. She wrote a Batman book in
a
the
river
70s.
runs through Gotham.
I would love to find out that like the rest of Harper Lee's career was just like she just wrote fan fiction.
Batman fan fiction. She has an entire series of Twilight fan fiction that she wrote under a pseudonym.
She wrote the greatest novel like of all time, and then Batman fan fiction for the rest of her.
Hey, you like what you like.
That'd be amazing.
Don't blame her that she's shipping Batman and the Joker together all the time. it's just Batman Joker / fiction by Larper He.
By Larper. Harper Lee, if you are listening, I'm sorry.
But we found out your secret.
We found out. We know your secret. We know you
It's
love
so
Batman.
obvious now. It all makes sense.
She was just embarrassed. She thought people would think it's dumb, and now they're gonna do it as a movie. Intruder alert! Intruder alert! God, look at all this, like, just the money spent in lights and apparently ambient water. Like, because there's like water effects everywhere.
Are they just like projecting water patterns on every surface?
I think so.
Cause can I get that for my like basement? Cause that's awesome.
That is really. I think you can buy stuff like that. We're on Halloween time.
At Spencer's.
Yeah, go. Yeah, Spencer's. This is just turning into like an advertisement for Spencer's. Spencer's is like, thank you.
This commentary was
Thank you.
brought to
No
you
one
by
comes.
Spencer's
We're like
Gifts.
MTV. No one cares anymore. But
But
face.
boobs.
She doesn't have nipples. Not fair. Free the nipple.
Oh, that
Free
yeah,
the
free the
nipple, man.
nipple.
Come on.
Hashtag free the nipple.
Hashtag free the nipple.
That is discrimination.
That would not project that way. I can tell you that right now. That's just going to be a red blur in space. Oh my goodness. His bike. I wonder who made that bike.
I did.
You did?
I did.
It's not like Ducati or something.
Cost about $350.
$350,000.
$3.50.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cheap. I think it doesn't work.
No.
You know, if you're Poison Ivy, you think you'd have, like, not plastic plants growing all over the place? Like, you'd have just real ones, but, you know.
Here's the question. Did he intend to walk into that dangling vine, or did he just look back over his shoulder and not realize he was running into it?
He has no peripherals.
Okay.
I hope he doesn't walk, like, on the lily pads and just, like, fall. God, this set is amazing. I want, like, a living room that looks like this. Just so you walk in, you're like, what the fuck? This is crazy. This is like
when people come into your living room, there you are,
I'm like, hello.
A giant flower. The vines drape behind you, and you're dressed exactly like that.
Oh, it's such an
That's actually what Randy's wearing right now.
Yeah, that's. I actually have. He
and
does go through.
Yeah, walking across
the lily pads. I probably remember that and just didn't realize it. I remember when he goes up and kisses her. I remember when very first time I saw this movie, I was like, oh god, he better not have fake lips on. And then he does. He has fake lips on. Spoiler alert, Alex. I'm sorry.
Oh. God.
What do you think of this far? You know, we're now about 3/4 through it.
This is a very strange film.
Well, you can actually see they're extra glossy there.
Yeah,
so it's a little bit of a giveaway. Like, you know, either he just applied Carmex or
he should have had poison lips himself. I mean, like legit though.
Yeah,
you know, like he kisses her and poisons her right back. Like boom.
Well, he has a stock of fake lips.
I coated my lips in Roundup.
There's a calamine lotion and Roundup. You're dead.
It's my new lip balm.
Bad luck, I'm afraid. Time to die, little Robin. It's fun to do.
She's got eyebrows like someone who would be on like the People's Court.
Or RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, she kind of has like it is a bit like sort of very like vaudevillian drag queen style sort of thing going, which is like what makes it so fun. Like it's just kind of awesome. I love just the different concepts and ideas they came up for with her. He has like kind of a bat thong. Did you notice that? Like
no, but I'm going to now. Thank you.
Like it kind of goes up like a thong on his back. My God, this is so ridiculous.
This is my protective bat thong.
This so you know, when this came out, like this wasn't good even when it came out. Like there was never a time where people were like, yeah, no, Batman and Robin is the best one. No, everybody immediately walked out of the theater and just went, oh.
Okay, so what's going on with Robin and all this? Like, she kicked him into the water, and he, like, thrashed around like he doesn't know how to swim, and we haven't seen him since.
Yeah, where did he go?
What exactly is going on with Robin?
He's dead.
Like,
he died. There we go.
Has he
what?
been underwater?
That was just reversed. Did you see that? It, like, popped him out and then popped him back in. It, like, literally... Probably because I bet somebody didn't shoot footage of him.
Yeah, they forgot to shoot the footage of him, like, coming up from the water. He's still in the water right now.
I imagine by this time in the film... You know, like, everyone was like, who gets a shit?
Like this isn't going to be good. Come on.
This is not going to be good.
Yeah, let's just go.
Yeah, he's not even, like, in the water there.
Yeah, you can't see.
Where'd Batman go? Batman was, like, on the ground a little bit ago, and now he's, like, gone, too. I love that. That's a fun moment. She knew exactly what kind of movie she was in. Tarantino probably told her. He was like, nah, this was going to be crazy. You're going to be, like, the craziest character. You're going to be, like, loved by everybody who's in this movie. That's my Tarantino for anybody who doesn't know Quentin Tarantino, because that version of him is terrible. Not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, it was identifiable.
It's identifiable.
He's still thrashing around.
He should be dead by now. It's been like 2 minutes.
Okay, Batman.
Bat-thong.
You're right. That's absolutely
there is a thong.
bat thong.
He is wearing a bat thong. I'm
How can they not figure out? Do they know who she is? Like, it's not much of a disguise.
She's like, it's me, Barbara.
Oh, did she say?
Yeah, she just said that.
And then he said we must kill her, which I had my head turned, so we must kill her. It's like, wait a minute, did Batman and Robin just decide to kill Batgirl? I wonder where Mr. Freeze is staying. God, that's amazing.
Probably at the place that's not covered in ice.
Never did I think the finale would take place in an observatory.
See so every time they show the giant statue holding the observatory, it doesn't look like the observatory is level at all. Like
it also doesn't look like you could get to it.
That's an entirely different issue.
Like, does Batman have to drop everyone off there every day? Like he flies them in. I want to point out now that Barbara just got a costume, right? Mm-hmm. We saw her that's the first time she's ever worn it. In the very next scene with them, they will be wearing brand new costumes. So Barbara Gordon, within the course of like 10 minutes, gets 2 costumes.
And they're freezing Taco Bell. I'd never noticed that there was a Taco Bell little placement there.
Little product placement.
Perhaps this is the Taco Bell from Demolition Man, where it's...
I bet there's Taco Bell, like, Batman commercials.
Incidentally, Demolition Man would be one worth doing a commentary on as well.
Demolition
I
Man.
love that movie.
Yeah, they need to do... It'd be fun to see a sequel to that. Kickstarter. There you go. We can raise $150,000 to make a Demolition Man sequel.
That's all it would cost.
We won't have any of the original actors in it, but like we'll all just have like regular people. It'll be like the Lethal Weapon on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And they have a brand new, also completely... This is really the first one that really feels like it was designed for toys, because holy crap. All of these look like toys.
He's got like the fan...
Yeah, she does have a different costume.
It's a completely different costume.
Vehicle.
If you notice, she's also wearing like a mask, like Batman. But then when we see her later on, I think that this is the only time you'll ever see her wearing that mask. Yeah, I remember that was actually a big problem in one of the featurettes. They talked about how like this one was made with like toys in mind, and so like a lot of the design choices were toy based. It shows.
Yep.
Very much does it show.
Absolutely.
Holy crap, does it show. Whoa. Yeah, the Batman sort of cowl just doesn't really work so well on her.
It's really like wide and makes her head super bulky looking.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks bulky. Not to be mistaken with Balky of Perfect Strangers fame.
It makes her look like Balky.
Makes her look like I'm going to save the day, cousin Larry. That was my Balky. And for all of you who have never seen Perfect Strangers, which I suspect is all of you, it's a show in the 80s about a guy from Meatballs who visits his cousin in New York, and they live together and have wacky hijinks. You can look it up. It's available like nowhere. I owned a season of it on TV.
Did the guy who played Balky, did he go on to be in the made-for-TV version of the Langoliers?
Yeah, he did. He was like the jerk in the Langoliers.
Jerk.
She took it off.
She just tossed her cowl thing.
I don't think I've ever actually noticed that she did that.
Yeah. Well, at least
continuity.
they had continuity.
I always thought it was more of a continuity mistake.
Yeah. Why she took it off? She realized
makes my face look wide, kind of like the guy from Perfect Strangers.
Guy like Perfect Strangers. I'm taking this off.
Bronson Pinchot.
There it is, Bronson Pinchot. Yeah, the Langoliers. Since we were talking about bad CG, the like scenery chewing, and I don't mean that in the sense of overacting,
but it really does.
Literally scenery chewing, like meatball things in the Langoliers are some of the worst CG I
just saw an article. I think it was Cracked.
Oh, really?
That like listed that as one of the absolute worst. Yeah,
I remember.
This is the set I own. It's the only Perfect Stranger set they ever put out. I think I reviewed it.
We sold one of these guys.
No, we gave it to the reviewer. But he still has it.
He still has it in his possession. It is they only put out seasons 1 and 2. They never put out any more, which is a bit of a bummer.
How many seasons were there?
There were like 5 or 6, I think. There were a lot. That's not how telescopes work. In Joel Schumacher's universe, though. Ah! A freeze is coming.
All one-liners must be spoken in the Christian Bale Batman voice.
There's a moment here where he says, "Grab onto my belt," and it's one of those moments where like, why didn't they redub it? Because it's all like crackly. I remember like he must have had his microphone too close to his face, and like you get this really like weird sound, which they may have fixed for the Blu-ray. I can't remember. I haven't seen this Blu-ray in many years. Many years. Wow, here we are. This is like the finale of the movie right here.
Oh boy.
The family each saving each other, and ultimately saved by Batman.
Why didn't she fire that?
She had to let the man do it first.
Like,
That's what it seems like.
I was Robin. I've been like, what the hell? You broke my thing. You didn't even need to.
They even made a PC joke earlier about how Batgirl was sexist.
Yeah. Which, like, now that's the least sexist thing. It's what they make Batgirl do that makes... It's what Batgirl does that makes it sexist.
It's what they made Batgirl do. Blow every cast member.
Oh, my God.
Sorry about the spoilers.
I wonder if they'll get around to doing Batgirl again, because Batgirl's kind of cool. It's just no one's... Well, particularly Christopher Nolan's really not into comic booking the movies at all, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to a new era of like maybe having some of that stuff. Because what they do in the Arkham Knight series, like the Arkham Asylum and Arkham City and stuff, like it has all the characters, but it has that like Christopher Nolan-y dark feel, and like I'd like to see something like a cinematic version of that. I think that'd be neat.
Yeah, they've done a great job with the games. Like in some ways, the game version of the Batman universe feels like
that's
the
definitive.
Best, yeah, it's the best rendition of the universe outside of actual comic books. It treats it seriously.
Yeah. It's written by comic books. It's written by comic books.
It's written.
The games
books write the games.
The books just write the games.
It's
this
like
is
Skynet,
gross. This crap coming out of his head.
Whoa!
He immediately shriveled up.
I made this super monster,
Did they just
but
say
I never
yay,
bothered
Batman?
to like clip the tubes in. Like you couldn't.
They do that to Bane in the other movie too. They like knock his cords, and he's like, "Oh no, my cords
Yeah, that's like the
are
worst
broken."
vulnerability ever. Like, how do you shut him down? You unplug him.
Well, I remember in that movie, one of the with Dark Knight Rises really annoyed me in like the very first scene. The guy's like, "What happens if you take off your mask?" And Bane's like, "It would be very painful." I'm like, cool. So you just told me in the opening scene Bane's weakness.
Here's how you defeat me.
Here's how you defeat
In case
Bane.
you were wondering.
That's like if in the Predator scene, they were like, "Oh no, we'll mud." Like mud, you won't be able to see. Predator can't see you with mud.
Did we just use the weapon from Diamonds Are Forever to unfreeze things?
Forever. Yeah, we shouldn't be singing that. We might get a copyright thing. Yeah, basically this is Gustav Gray from Die Another Day, and Diamonds Are Forever is basically the same plot.
Mm-hmm.
Basically the same movie too. You don't even need to watch those movies. This one does it for you.
Especially Die Another Day. You really don't need to watch that movie, which is why we'll probably do a commentary on it soon.
Do commentaries on films you don't want to watch, so that you'll watch them. Because we're evil people. Make you watch these terrible films. They're fun.
That's basically what we're doing to Alex right now. Really.
Yeah,
like, we've seen these movies before. We know what we're getting.
We are like
into.
torturing you right now with these films.
This is actually all just a devious experiment to see how Alex responds to this.
I remember this was kind of a refreshing thing in that the villains didn't die in this one. Edward Nygma survives the last one, but Tommy Lee Jones's character dies. And I believe here, like, Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze, and probably Bane, although he might die here. Batman just destroyed the observatory.
Which is a shame, because, well, at least the statue's still in place.
Ooh,
you could build
very
something
90s
else.
effects.
You could build like a nice rotating restaurant being held by the giant statue.
So what have they been doing? Have they just been standing here, like, chatting about how awesome it was that they survived?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of, like, just Robin standing around while other people fight.
I think the grab onto my belt moment is coming up here yeah, there it is. Yeah, that should sound like shit if you've never We have no audio right now, so
we're just assuming it sounds terrible.
Just assume it's the worst sounding miking you've ever heard. It's probably like not even that bad. It's one of those things where like nostalgia remembers it differently.
It's been built up so much that no matter how bad it was, it'd be like, oh,
it was fine.
It's fine. It's no biggie.
Thank you, Batman. You're welcome. You never have to thank me.
Everyone gets one.
Need a ride? Yeah, that's right. Batman saving you guys. Whee!
Whoa.
They were a little CG there.
Just a touch.
Telescope's gone. Oh no, how are they going to heat the city up?
Oh no.
In the porno, this would be where they'd have the orgy.
How do we heat the city up?
They'd be like,
So Robin is a computer genius?
no.
Or who's a computer genius?
She actually, I think, maybe is.
It's a Unix system.
I know this.
Did you guys notice all the like sweet old Apple computers and stuff that were in here?
Apple was paying for this. Steve
Oh, yeah.
Jobs, he was
Oh,
ahead
yeah.
of the time.
There was
Batman and Robin's
I think
gonna be a big hit.
E-mate in there. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, I feel like Steve Jobs was ahead of the times. He knew this was going to be a big hit. This is going to be a big hit.
This was his plan to save Apple.
This is what actually did it. This is what
this led to the money
brought it back.
that helped get the IMAX, financed, which was about a year later.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what I'm
IMAX
saying.
He actually might not have been part of Mac at this point.
This was stage one of the Steve Jobs Apple renovation revitalization plan. Was let's get product placement in a Batman movie. Along with Taco
look at those.
Bell.
Those are the worst right there. Come on.
Oh.
They kept that in the movie. Like, how? And this is an era where computer effects now, people complain about computer effects, but they don't realize computer effects can fix something like that really quickly.
Yeah, sometimes practical effects look like that.
Look like crap. I'm a lover. I love practical effects, but I really love blending. I think blending real and practical is really the key. And I think there is a movement toward that again. Star Wars, the new Star Wars, obviously trying to make a push for that, and the Fast and Furious films too. Oh. Yeah, his eyes are super creepy looking here.
All right, so he's still alive, taking him to Arkham.
Yeah. And not only does he...
I didn't kill your wife, but I don't have to save you.
Yeah, he just lets him die. Lady Fries.
That's her drag name. Lady Fries.
Lady Fries. I feel like that's somebody, if you're going to do drag, if you're going to do Lady Fries, you got to be kind of heavy. I think it should be a heavy person in drag, Lady Fries. And
Brought to you by McDonald's.
Yeah. Looks like they eat fries. They eat fries.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yes. But vengeance isn't power. Anyone can take a life. But to give a life, that's true power. A power you once had. Is he coming right now?
And pooping.
He's coming and pooping. He's cooping.
Pumping?
Victor Price, help me save another life. Show me how to cure McGregor syndrome.
So my head will stop bobbling.
He's still inside you.
Buried
deep beneath the snow. Will you help me? Yeah, I like that this is very kids show kind of version of the superheroes where the villains are villainous, but they can be redeemed, which is fun. I like he kind of predators him here. You're like, oh, is it gonna be a bomb? No, he just carries the cure on him at all times, they glow, of course, because everything glows in Schumacher's universe. Oh, thank you, Joel Schumacher, for making Batman and Robin. I know you get a lot of shit for it, but it is a really fun movie to watch. Not gonna lie, I enjoy it every. God, it's like Robin has boobs. I'm sorry,
He's
Joel
got
Schumacher.
bigger boobs than Batgirl.
He seriously has bigger boobs than Schumacher. I don't know whether you have boobs, Joel Schumacher.
Than Joel Schumacher.
You might have moobs. I have moobs. It's okay. moobs are a thing. Whatever.
Got moobs like Jagger.
Got moves like Schumacher. I got moobs like Robin. Oh, those aren't moobs. Those are boobs. He is free in the nipple.
Or to use the Fight Club term, bitch tits.
Bitch tits.
Ooh, Fight Club. Should do that one. I haven't seen that movie in a really long time. God, everybody else is like kind of, well, I guess Robin's a little dirty, but like Batgirl's particularly dirty.
I was gonna say, she's looking real haggard.
What happened?
Just needs to shave, guys.
This is kind of like, this feels a lot like Harley Quinn.
I know.
Like, this really, and really, she seems like Harley Quinn in a lot of ways, like in her obsession with him.
Well, I mean, and Harley Quinn was a scientist beforehand,
yeah.
wasn't? So
well, she was like a therapist, I think. She was like the Joker's
right.
therapist in some versions. It kind of depends on which version you see. That might have been a tease in some way for Harley Quinn, because I know Harley Quinn, like back when Joel Schumacher was going to make the 5th one as well. That I think Harley Quinn was a name that was tossed around a lot. Some of the names I've heard, like I remember like Cher for Catwoman. I just remember seeing like so many, like my mom used to have gossip magazines, and like they'd have like the worst like choices for casting. Though they were I think they had Robin Williams for the Riddler, and actually Robin Williams like kind of suggested Jim Carrey, if I remember correctly. Like,
no, Robin Williams would have made a great Riddler. Mm-hmm. He really would have.
Robin Williams for Batman would have been.
I wish I could do Robin Williams, because I would totally just go into a Robin Williams like,
I'm the Dark Knight.
the Dark Knight.
Oh, look at me over here. I'm just like the Bat.
Look at me over here. Oh, let's go over here now.
Oh, fluttery capes are very in this season.
Oh, Robin Williams, we love you.
I like how it takes 3 of us to do one Robin Williams.
And it's still combined. It still doesn't totally capture.
It doesn't quite get there.
Oh my goodness. I'm back now.
And I'm still pooping.
I'm pooping now. Right now, you can probably smell it. That's why Clooney's been bobbling his head.
It's like, it smells bad in here.
So we're a family now? That's cool. God, Chris O'Donnell has like nothing to do in this movie.
Even in the fight scenes, he just
like,
kind of hangs out underwater.
I feel
or just
bad
stands
for him
off by the sideline
because he's kind of cool in Batman Forever. She still looks like she's got a 5 o'clock shadow. They just light her funny. I think it's because she's got very prominent cheek line, so like it's hard to light that. Plus, I mean, this lighting is just.
Yeah. I mean,
what the hell is going on here? Is it pink outside? Like what's going on?
It is perpetually a glowing sunset. Look at the lighting on their hands.
Yeah. Well, and it's inconsistent now. This is like brighter. Partners in pink.
Doo-dum, doo-dum.
And that's not because she's a girl. That's because the world is pink.
Ba-dum.
Was that even George Clooney's hand? Like, it didn't look like that.
They ran out of budget for George Clooney's hand. So that's like Gutierrez, the stagehand. Partners.
We're partners here. We're doing the Batman. Then they run toward the camera, and then it just cuts to production manager. It's like they're blaming everything on him.
Like, this is the guy.
Yeah, this is the guy you want to be
annoyed by. Production manager, right there. It was his fault.
When the Fly came out, there's a story in one of the featurettes for the Fly. Like the very first name after the Fly is the guy who did the effects.
All right.
Peter Wallace, I believe, is his name. And I remember like the director like leaned over and was like, "You're gonna win an Academy Award." Because it's the first thing you see after the tragic, and then I think it did. It got, I don't know, they won, but it definitely got like some recognition. Here they're doing the opposite. They're like, we're just gonna blame, this whole film on this one guy.
Some guy.
So Alex, you saw the film now. You've now seen Batman and Robin.
By the
can
way,
you describe
Ice
the plot?
Thugs? Ice Thugs, I feel like would be the Minnesota equivalent of Bone Thugs.
So, from what I can tell, this is a timeless tale wherein an ice cream man tries to cure his wife of some sort of disease.
Yes.
But decides to instead steal diamonds for whatever reason, as you do. And also there was a vine lady.
Dr. Freeze's hairstylist, just FYI. What? Steve Irwin, 24-hour frame engineer, or 24 frame engineer. 24.
I build your frames 24 hours a day.
Neon
I'm the guy who's got the
technology
frame.
by Knights of Neon.
They
Knights
got a
of
lot
Neon,
of
you
business
guys.
in this one.
We're gonna fleece
like-
these people.
We're going to be millionaires when this film is over.
That was
There's so much neon, it's
75% of the budget went to Knights of Neon.
Knights of Neon.
Which are actually an ancient order that have been around
Yeah.
since.
It's like Knights of Columbus, but neon. Assistant. These are all the assistants. They're all the
Mr.
people who assure them that they're made the
drama
right
coach.
decision in being in this film. I'm serious.
Be like, no,
Miss
really.
Silverstone, it's
People
going
are
to be a
gonna
great.
like this.
People are going to remember you for years to come.
I just saw the term copsicles.
Copsicles.
used in the credits.
Rick Baker. Probably the famous Rick Baker, I would guess.
As opposed to the infamous Rick Baker. He worked on Batman Forever.
We don't speak of that Rick Baker.
I haven't heard
Negative
that name.
cutter.
The
Some of the
Freeze
names of
Mobile.
these.
He was
These
really
jobs are
emo. Bo
hilarious.
Henry was a really emo guy. He was the negative cutter.
My name's Chuck Bemis. I'll shoot it for you. First assistant camera guy. Whatever. Chuck, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. I don't know what you... All I know is I can't keep continuing to apologize because Buff Campagna? What?
What? I don't even know what that is. I have watched literally hundreds of movie credits, and I have no idea what that means.
I majored in film studies, and I have no idea. There's probably something. If you know what it is, put it in the comments below.
Yeah, please do.
I'll like it.
I'm
like it.
intrigued.
Oh my god. Ian Cooney, not to be mistaken with George Clooney. Hey guys, I'm Ian Cooney. I'm related to
Cooney
him.
on the set.
No, you're not.
Cooney on the set.
That's
like,
what
I'm
they
here,
are.
guys. I'm right here.
Although
Second
Rhythm and
unit,
Hues-
nobody. Seriously, there was. What is
No
with that
one
gap?
wants to. No one
Like,
wants
really,
to be known.
Really, it's just that one dude, Jamie Anderson, entire second
Anderson.
unit. What is with the gaps in the credit there? Why the massive
To make the
space?
movie longer, I guess.
the closing credits music was too long. They're like, all right, how can we space this out? Second, let's wait about 10 seconds before showing anything from the second unit.
Oh, this soundtrack was really good. I remember really digging this soundtrack. It had a Smashing Pumpkins song on it.
Yeah.
The end is the beginning.
The end is the beginning,
Yeah.
and the reverse one,
The
which was
beginning
used.
is the end is the beginning.
Yeah, which was used for the Watchmen trailer campaign.
I
when that movie
actually
came
really
out.
like the Lazy Eye, the
Mhm.
the Goo Goo Dolls song. I really enjoyed that.
This was a really fun soundtrack. I mean, it's very '90s, but it was really fun. Yeah, I remember really digging it back in the day.
No animal was harmed. I like that they don't pluralize it. It's not like no animals were harmed, which is the usual one. No single animal was harmed.
Maybe there was only one animal in the movie.
Animals as
Just
a
that
collective.
dog who's taking a leak. who
It
got
might have been
frozen.
the only
Yeah.
animal in the movie. Other than George Clooney. Bobbling his head, being like, hey, baby.
Like,
I
you
bobble
know
my
I'm
head
an
back and
animal.
forth for you. Do
They say I'm an animal,
Do
but
you
I
want
wasn't
it?
harmed in the making of this
Batman
movie.
and Robin will return in the Batman Begins.
It'll be a little while.
It'll be a while, and it'll make everyone really scared. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the motion picture film known
Batman versus Robin.
known as Batman versus Robin. Final thoughts. Wow, it was a fun movie to watch. I will never not like it.
No, I mean it's enjoyable in its absurdity.
Mhm.
Like,
It is a wonderfully absurd, very hokey.
and I do genuinely enjoy the art direction on it. Like,
Yeah,
I'll make fun of it, but I actually
Yeah.
really like it.
I mean, it's basically like Las Vegas. You know, it's the Batman equivalent of Las Vegas. It's just
Yeah,
like this
I'm gonna go
really.
Was this the movie they were trying to make, or did this just was this just what happened to turn out?
Joel Schumacher seemed to really like camp. He was a
this
big
is-
fan of camp, and so they kind of gave him carte blanche to do whatever, because Batman Forever, he directed Batman Forever, and it was kind of a big hit, and it made a lot of money in toys and stuff, and so I think they were like, cool, let's make it basically
let
a
him do
giant
it.
toy commercial. I think it doesn't work because I think we were sort of gearing toward a more serious Batman, and I think that's why the Christopher Nolan films took off so much, is because we kind of got, in many ways, what I think people were hoping for, which is more of a serious take on Batman. But I'm glad that this film exists. This was a really expensive film. It was like ridiculous. It was like $150 million or something crazy like that. It was kind of expensive for it. It might even have been $200 million. It was really expensive. But I'm glad that they made it because it exists, and it exists as a punchline, but it also exists as sort of a kind of awesome piece of cult cinema.
Yeah.
Very expensive cult film, basically. So, yeah. Anything else? No other thoughts?
That's about all I got.
You got all right. Well,
I need to pee, so
this concludes today's episode of Commentary Time. I am your host, Randy. You can find me at rlschaefer.com. You can also find me at permanentlygeek.com and on Twitter. My Twitter handle is rlschaeferwrites, and you can hashtag me whatever you want to hashtag me. I'll look it up. I'll check out your hashtags, whatever.
And I'm Michael McFarland. You can find me at michaelmcfarlandmusic.com. On Twitter, I am MichaelMCFmusic. I've also got my own YouTube channel under that same name with stuff about motorcycles and music performances and me talking about all kinds of random stuff that you probably don't care about. So,
or you will. You never know.
You never know.
And I'm Alex. I also have a Twitter. It's at Simulalix. I don't really use it. I'm more of an anti-social media person, so
feel free to tweet him like hundreds of tweets.
You can do whatever
That's
you want.
SIMULALEX.
Yeah.
Your Twitter account is currently like commandeered by like someone's trying to sell penis cream.
Hey, I don't judge how you make your money. Don't judge how I make mine.
Penis cream has made me a lot of money.
Cream.
And with that,
Dick pomade.
Commentary time has come to a close. We will see you.
Dick pomade, dude. We'll catch you guys next time.
We will catch you next time on Commentary Time. Take care.